And welcome to John McConnell Stadium on the campus of Conway High School. It's Jeff Matthews and Levi Gilbert with you for tonight's 7A Central Conference opener between the Wampus Cats and the Southside Mavericks. Yesterday, I had a pinch hitter, and it was Levi Gilbert who stepped in to talk to Coach Clint Ashcraft for the Coach Clint Ashcraft show that we do every week prior to the game. We'll have that for you next, and then we'll come back for the kickoff, and we're excited to see these Cats play. They're playing some great ball. That's coming up on Conway Corp Channel 5. So we'll be like 5. All right, that note.
Your life is about to change forever, and Conway Regional will be with you every step of the way. We're committed to being the best. That's why our OBGYNs won't deliver anywhere else. Your newborn will benefit from our groundbreaking nursery alliance with Arkansas Children's Hospital. And as you adapt to the new world that's in front of you, know that everyone at Conway Regional is all on the same team. Yours. One team, one promise. Conway Regional.
Hello and welcome to the Coach Clint Ashcraft Show. I'm Levi Gilbert alongside Coach, and just a few minutes away from Fort Smith Southside. But first, we've got to talk about a big win last week at Bentonville, a team that Conway historically hasn't had a lot of success against. What did that win do for your team as they head into conference play?
Well, hopefully it gave them some confidence. You know, our guys are playing with a lot of confidence right now. I think they have a lot of belief in each other and a lot of belief in the other side of the ball. You know, offense feels good about our defense and vice versa. So those groups are feeding off each other right now, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, let's talk about this defense. They've played so aggressively here in the non-conference part of the season. Had 3 turnovers at Bentonville, 2 interceptions, a fumble, another interception on a 2-point conversion.
Right. Also
had 3 sacks. They put your offense in some good spots all night.
Yeah, you know, they got a lot of energy. They're doing a great job of running the ball. I know that sounds elementary, but when you play with great passion and a lot of energy and you're flying around, good things tend to happen, and so far that's been the case. Yeah,
let's talk about the offense. Another really balanced performance out of them, almost near identical in the passing and rushing output.
Right. You know, that's what you want. You want to be balanced. I really thought they did a good job of when we did get a takeaway, they were able to put points on the board. I know one time was a turnover, a 1-play touchdown, and that's a big momentum swing, and I think that kind of set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, they were 3 for 3 on 4th down. You mentioned one of them was scoring a touchdown in the end zone.
Yeah, you know, that's an attitude play. We talk about it all the time. I think we went for it 3 times on 4th down and converted all 3 of those, so that's a big shot in the arm for those guys.
Let's look at the non-conference as a whole, talk about this offensive line. They've helped put up almost 500 rushing yards, and there may have been a sack, but I can't remember one in the first 3 games.
No, they're playing well right now. You know, you're seeing them get better every week, and that's the goal. That's what you want. And just real proud of them and the improvement that they've shown, and hopefully that'll continue.
Yeah, Nick Richmond, another big game for him. He had 2 touchdowns and really gave your team a quick, big play threat.
Yeah, he's definitely that. You know, I think the more people watch us on film, the more they'll say, hey, we got to get a safety over the top of him. And when that happens, you know, it opens up the doors for Joe and Will and those other guys. So, like I said, it all kind of feeds off each other.
Yeah. Non-conference season over. Did you learn anything about your team in those first 3 games and maybe a little unexpected?
Well, just, you know, I think we started off early kind of, you could see question marks in their eyes, you know, just we weren't sure. And I think the last 2 weeks have kind of calmed them down and showed them if they play hard, take care of the football, you know, and have great energy, good things are going to happen.
Yeah. Let's talk about Fort Smith Southside tonight, conference opener. Lost a heartbreaker last year on the road against the Mavericks. What's it going to take in all 3 phases of the game tonight?
Well, just more of the same. You know, I know that's not a fun answer, but it is the truth. You know, we just got to keep taking care of the football. Offense keep marching down the field. Defense find ways to take the ball away from them, and that's always a good combination.
Yeah, just keep it rolling.
That's it. That's the plan.
Thanks, Coach. Kickoff in just a few moments right here on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Fitness is about so much more than exercise. It's a catalyst for positive change, and it affects every aspect of your life. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center is your source for comprehensive medical-based health and fitness programs. Dedicated to improving the wellness of those within our community, we offer something for everyone in the family. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center, over 20 years of health and wellness in our community.
Away from kickoff here at John McConnell Stadium. Jeff Matthews and Levi Gilbert with you. My thanks to Levi for stepping in and talking to Coach Ashcraft this week prior to the game. The Wampus Cats are 2-1 in the non-conference season, better than 0-3 a year ago, but honestly, neither record makes a difference. You're whether 2-1 or 0-3. Now is when it really matters. But the difference is in the momentum, and the difference is in the turnover margin, and the difference is in the smart play out of quarterback, and everything else that we're seeing out of this team on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, Jeff, you're so right. This conference opener, man, it feels so much different than it did a year ago at 0-3. And my main points that I'm looking at tonight, I've been calling them Levi's worries, but
right.
They've gotten less worrisome over the last 2 weeks.
They should, yeah.
But if you're Conway tonight, especially this offense, let's get off to a quick start. Fort Smith Southside, they've given up the most points in the 7A Central through non-conference play, giving up an average of 38 points per game. So get on the board early, put some pressure on them. That defense is going to keep putting pressure on them, maybe force some turnovers. My second key for tonight, feed the monster. Conway's 2-0 when Michael George gets more than 100 yards rushing. So just keep giving him the ball.
That's right.
And that just helps the offense be balanced in general. And then my last thing to watch for tonight, just continue to play clean football. The last 2 weeks, low number of penalties, no turnovers except the one fumble 2 weeks ago against Jonesboro. Keep playing that clean football, because if you're not turning the ball over and your defense is getting turnovers and you're balanced on offense, good things are going to keep happening for this team.
This is a Southside squad that's been tested, obviously, already this year. In their first 3 weeks of the season, they played the #1 team in 6A and the #1 team in 7A. So they have been matched up against some good teams. Now, this is their first road game of the year. I take that back. It's the first time they've left their county this year.
Right.
They did play at Greenwood. But their first long road trip, there were reports they were in town early today. So I think they might have come over early and kind of just gotten used to being on the bus and getting off the bus and all the things that go into a road football game. They have lost 7 of their last 9 games since their victory over us last year.
Oh, wow.
Since then, they have not had a very good run of things. They beat Heritage and beat Central, 2 of the programs in 7A that are generally near the bottom. So this is a proud Southside team. Last year was the first time since 2007 that they missed the playoffs. And Jeff Williams does a great job. In fact, he's going for his 100th career victory tonight against these Wampus Cats. Clint Ashcraft has them playing some great football, and it's going to look good to see them back in all blues tonight at home.
Yeah, and if you're Conway, this is a revenge game for you, because you remember how painful that loss was on the road a year ago, lost by a field goal, and really was in control for much of that game. So I know these players, they've been playing some revenge games all season so far. Jonesboro and
right.
Bentonville last week.
The first 5 are all going to be revenge games.
Yeah, that's true. But they've been on the other side of it so far here to start the season, and I know they want to take this Southside team down too.
Connor Robles, the senior kicker, will kick things off for the Mavericks. Still kind of getting used to that. They were the Rebels forever. Changed over to the Mavericks a year ago.
Yeah, it's funny. I was writing my notes for the coaches show, and I was just out of habit, just type that out. Yep. I was like, nope, backspace.
MAV. They are the Mavs, and they are the Wampus Cats, and they're playing some good football. Little pooch kick that's going to be picked up by Ricky Fuller at the 38-yard line. That's a good, smart play by Fuller. He doesn't get a lot of snaps defensively, but he gets a ton of snaps when it comes to special teams, and he is an important part of this football team.
Well, and that just shows you how important your special teams can be. Even if it's maybe a spot that, like a player like Fuller, he's not getting a lot of other snaps. That was an important snap right there.
Very. Yeah, no, if they get the turnover there and get a chance to get out early. But instead, it's the Wampus Cats with the football. Andrew Rhea, the senior quarterback, will look to throw on the first play of the night. Steps in the pocket and slings it. Complete to Joe Thomas. Joe's into the secondary, moved the chains. It's a Conway Regional Health System first down on the first play of the night.
This offensive line has been playing well throughout non-conference, particularly the last 2 games. A great job there by Rhea. The pocket presence, awareness to step up and give him a little bit of extra time and finds his man.
You mentioned that offensive line, left to right. It's Nathan Turner, Lance Rogers, L.J. Hansberry, Keandre Clay, and Thomas Cloyd. Rhea. Pass is intercepted. Stepping in front of it and making the pick is Mason Gregory, talented cornerback who stepped in front and made the pick. The second interception of the year thrown by Andrew Rhea. The first earlier one at the end of the Springdale game. This one comes in a much different spot.
Yeah, that's really the first, bad mistake pass that he's made this season. You mentioned that other interception he had. That was on a last ditch throw at the end of that Springdale game. So I wouldn't really count that as a bad decision, but
right.
We had a little bit of a bad decision there, and Conway coming into this game +7 in the turnover differential, so they haven't been used to turning the ball over, especially not early.
3-4 defense for the Wampus Cats. Altus goes in motion. Tay Gatewood is their quarterback. They'll hand the ball off to Ricardo Savoy. Savoy with the carry. Corlin McKinney gets the start along with Jordan Doby and Zach Friedel. They'll start along the defensive line. They make up the 3 part of that 3-4. Matt Lloyd, Garrett Fusilier, Jackson Freeman, and the other starter is B.J. Jones for the injured Logan White. In the secondary, you've got Darnell Washington and Tyler Banks. 21 Reasons are the corners. And Roman Aaron and Will Kennedy are starting safeties. Second down and 6. There's a flag that comes in. Tay Gatewood is their quarterback. He's a talented athlete, a junior, put on about 15 pounds in the offseason. He was kind of a hybrid last year. He took some snaps at quarterback, but was primarily like a wide receiver running back player. But at the end of the year, took all the snaps in their Week 10 game, and he was definitely the starter as they moved into the 2017 season. Penalty against the Mavericks, and it's second down and 11. Gatewood will keep, and he's quick. Tay Gatewood pushed out of bounds by Darnell Washington. That'll be enough to move the chains.
Well, you see there why Gatewood is the starter now. He gets a perfect read on that little option play, and like you said, he's fast. He got out there in a hurry.
4.6 speed for the junior. He's completed 665 yards worth of passes so far this year, but he is dangerous with the feet. There he goes again. That time, nowhere to go.
I always feel for our defensive linemen or ends, particularly in those outside linebackers that are having to read that play, because it's like a no-win situation, it feels like most times.
Garrett Fusilier and Jordan Doby in on the stop. Gain of 2, second down and 8 for Fort Smith Southside. Conway's done such a great job with the turnover margin this year. They're giving one up early with an interception by Andrew Rhea. Gatewood pressured. Zach Friedel had him, couldn't track him down. Gatewood gets the edge and will be pushed out of bounds by Roman Aaron. But they'll move the chains. The ball's at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10 Southside.
As quick as Zach Friedel is, that's a hard matchup going one-on-one laterally with an athlete like Taywood there. Gatewood. Tay Gatewood.
Tay Gatewood. It'll happen.
I'm just combining the names just to make it easier. Taywood.
1st down and 10 for the Taywood-led Mavericks. Tay Gatewood. And if I remember correctly, he's got some Conway ties. I think his folks may be from here, if I remember from our game against them a year ago, hearing that. One of our road games, when, of course, we get lots of information from folks. That's a great tackle by B.J. Jones. Jones, a 5'10", 184-pound senior. He's one of the captains tonight. Made a big stop.
Yeah, Stats is very observant, obviously, because he does stats for us. But as Jones was going out as captain, Stats was commenting just on how big he is.
Yes.
I would not want to be tackled by him.
No, he's talented, and he has made his way into that starting lineup. Logan White, injured a few weeks ago. Injury not as severe as we first thought, and so as he is getting better, hopefully see him back on the field as early as next week. Gatewood's pass is complete. Spins to the 14-yard line. Catch was made by Tyrese Solomon. He's his favorite receiver. Told you he's thrown 6 touchdown passes so far this year. 5 of them have been to number 7, Tyrese Solomon.
This Conway defense has played well in non-conference play. Being tested early here in this home opener, 7A Central play.
It is 1st and 10. On the ground. Short gain, it'll be 2nd down.
Complimented this defense in that coaches show, putting the offense in great spots so much the last 2 weeks, and this defense got put in a little bit of a tough spot here early.
Brendan Ulrich on the carry. He was a part of this team a year ago that ended up, he actually scored the winning touchdown, did Brendan Ulrich. He will share time with Savoy at running back. So a penalty called against B.J. Jones. It's 2nd down and a yard.
Yeah, penalty on Jones, and he comes out quickly.
DJ Fuller in his place. Gatewood will keep. Stopped right about the 5-yard line. DJ Fuller and Garrett Fusilier in on the stop. It's still going to be short of a 1st down. 3rd down and 1. Correction, they're going to measure. Bring the chains across and check it out just inside the 5-yard line. Glad you're with us today. Next week on the road, just a short trip down to North Little Rock. Invite you to join us live with Wampus Cats to Go, 5 and 585 on Conway Corp Cable and online at conwaycorp.com/WC2Go. When they stretch the chains out, it is good enough for a 1st down. So now 1st and goal from the 4 for the Southside Mavericks.
Fusilier with that last tackle. He's coming off a great game at Bentonville. He came on in that 2nd half, had a sack and an interception, showing off his big play ability.
Ulrich and Gatewood are in the backfield. Gatewood directing traffic. 1st and goal from the 4. Do the Cats have 4 stops in them here? Ulrich up the middle, and he is hit hard at the 2-yard line. Jackson Freeman is there. Garrett Fusilier there is also. 2nd and goal. Corlin McKinney taking up some space right over the football.
That's one of those plays where your offensive linemen get their assignments on the D-line, and you've got a linebacker in between you and the goal. And Garrett Fusilier stopping him in his tracks.
Gatewood in the backfield by himself. He will run, dives for the goal line. They're going to say he's short, 3rd and goal. 3rd down and goal from the half-yard line. See if they have a version of the Rhino package that we see so often when the roles are reversed. Gatewood will drop into the shotgun formation. He'll catch the ball about the 5-yard line. He'll follow his blockers. Battle in. He's into the end zone from a yard out. So Tay Gatewood scores And the Mavericks take advantage of the turnover and score to take a lead to 6-0.
Yeah, Conway defense putting up their best effort there. They get the 3 stops and almost got that last stop as well.
They will go for 2. Little jump pass that hits the ground and is no good. So it's 7:07 to play in the first quarter. It is Southside 6, Conway 0. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5. .07 to play in the first quarter, and it's 6-0. The Wampus Cats with the turnover, and then the Mavericks did what they were supposed to do. They went down the field and scored.
Yeah, pretty ugly, but somewhat of a positive outcome there at the very end of that drive for Conway, as Fort Smith Southside going for 2 on their little trick play, and Conway defense getting the stop. So now Southside potentially could be chasing that point the rest of the night.
The rest of the night, you're right. I was watching a little bit of tape of them today, and they ran the exact same 2-point conversion following the first score against Springdale Harbor a couple of weeks back in week number 1. Ball bouncing around. It'll be taken, but there is a flag on the field.
Looks like there was offsides. Yeah. It looked like that happened the first kickoff as well, because the kicker is slowing down just enough that the person to his left is getting a little bit out in front of the ball before it's kicked.
.705 to play, first quarter. Conference opener around the state. Week 4 means conference opener. Teams have 3 weeks to play 3 non-conference games. Next year they'll have 4 weeks to play those 3 non-conference games. So there'll be a little difference in the schedule. That'll have a real different feel than what we're used to with this edition of the 0 week. Week 4 will begin the conference season. Tonight, it's Southside in town. Next week at North Little Rock. Robles will kick off. He'll kick it deep. And a one-handed grab by DJ Jones. What a return. Back to the 27-yard line. That was probably a whole lot more excited than he should have been. It's B.J. Jones with the one-handed catch in the return.
Do we need to put B.J. Jones in the backfield? What is going on there?
I tell you what, he and Matt Lloyd are both players who were not listed as starters when the season began, but they've taken advantage of opportunities, played well, and have put themselves where they are on the field more times than not. So the Wampus Cat offense on the field, Chris Anderson runs out along with the offensive lineman. He'll be set up at the H-back to the left. Chris Patterson, the H-back to the right. Got Will McKenna and Nick Richmond with Andrew Rhea and Michael George, who gets the carry. Michael George to the 35-yard line. It's second down.
Love when we see a drive start with Michael George, especially when it's a little 7-yard, 8-yard run on first down.
He is getting the most rushes by far. That's his 51st carry on the season. Second most rushing attempts, Giovanni Johnson with 19.
Wow, yeah. And put up almost 350 yards in non-conference play.
Johnson in the game, and he will carry. Enough for the first down and more to the 45-yard line. I was really prepared to say and a lot more, but he got tripped up, but moved the chains. It's 1st and 10.
I don't know what that feels like, Jeff, trying to set up your call a little bit, you know. I just sit back and listen.
Do you?
Yeah.
Thank you. 5 wideouts.
You feel like it's coming, though, soon for him, because there's been a few times where he's been an arm tackle away from breaking him one off.
5 receivers on the field for Andrew Rhea. Gets away from the pressure, and he will run. Rhea crosses midfield. They'll spot him down at the 49-yard line. It's second down. Nice escapability from the senior Rhea.
Well, it's 2 times early here in this game that he's faced pressure, and really no pressure to speak of the last couple weeks. He's had a pretty easy job back there with the protection. He's had to face some pressure in his face early tonight.
They've got some talented defensive players up front. We'll tell you more about those as we go along. Michael George, he'll move the chains to the 40-yard line. It is a Conway Regional Health System first down. Luke Richardson, Rasheed Morris, Martez Gaston, all talented players on the defensive line for the Mavericks. Quickly to the line of scrimmage on 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground to George. Michael George, right up the gut. Stutter step, spin, take it down at the 20-yard line. Move the chains for the Wampus Cats. It's 1st and 10.
Wow, Jeff, you called that stutter step. So much patience there in the backfield from George, and then that burst of speed, that 4.5 burst of speed, as you can't arm tackle this guy up the middle. It's just not going to happen.
And I tell you what, the guys up front, Lance Rogers, LJ Hansberry, and Keandre Clay in particular, just because that's where he's running between the guards, they're giving him just enough space. He gets past that defensive line, and then he's in past the linebackers in no time. Whistle on the play before the play can develop. It's going to be against the Wampus Cats. I wanted to mention a moment ago about Coach Brian Rainey. He's the offensive coordinator, and I think he is done. We've seen him here. He came with Coach Ashcraft from Siloam Springs, and I feel like Brian Rainey is calling some fantastic games offensively. We are seeing just the right mix, just the right strategy, just the right movement, the player combination. I mean, things are working right now, and it's fun to watch. Rhea to throw. Steps up, and he'll run again with a lot of green in front of him. That baseball background helps out as he slides at the 17-yard line. Looked like there may have been a need for a flag there as the high hit came in high. But instead, he's at the 17-yard line, second down.
You're not kidding about those baseball skills, because that's not something that just comes naturally to folks.
Right.
You know, knowing how to slide. It really isn't something that you just
Go
Go
in your backyard, because I don't want anybody to see you do it. And I'm talking about you that's watching. Do this and try to slide. You're right, it's not easy. Or don't, you'll snap an ankle, potentially. George, nice run. Brought down by Cameron Belcher, the 5'8 senior. That's going to be enough to move the chains, I believe. Sure will. So another Conway Regional Health System first down. Cats moving the ball nicely on this second drive. Will McKenna will set up to the right. Joe Thomas and Nick Richmond on the near side. And Giovanni Johnson's in the backfield, set up at quarterback. Run play, Johnson to the left. He will be slung down at the 10. Belcher on the stop.
Talked about it a little bit last week about this 2-quarterback system, and my worry that it might become a little bit too predictable when Giovanni's in, that they're going to run. And,
yeah.
And it has been a little bit, but they've still been able to execute when he's in there.
Well, we know he can throw the ball. He's got a big arm. And there's going to be a time when we're going to need to throw the ball down the field with him on the field. And he's going to do that little step up and then a drop back and sling something deep. Rhea's in the game now. Michael George next to him. George inside the 5. Stop is made by Wesley Schwartz. It is going to be third down and about 2. Under 3 minutes to play. We are in the first quarter. There's an injury on the field. We're going to take a moment to check on that Southside Maverick. And while they do that, we will take a timeout as well. Let's take 30 seconds, and we'll be back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
There's a lot to love about the natural state. We should know. Arkansas has been our home since 1932. Since then, First Security has added locations, services, and solutions. And we're still growing. Not outside of the state, but deeper in. We invest in our home, your home, communities, families, and Arkansas businesses. Like you, we're proud of our home state. And we're proud to be only in Arkansas. First Security, only in Arkansas.
2 minutes and 54 seconds to play in the first quarter. Training staff helping the injured Maverick off the field. It's a talented linebacker, Cameron Belcher. So it's 3rd down and 2 from the 4-yard line.
Yeah, big third down here. Conway still can get a first down without getting a touchdown here. Conway coming into this game 41% on third down conversions.
Snap to Michael George. First down and a touchdown. Wampus Cats tied up at 6.
You could get a first down without scoring, but it's always better when you just go ahead and score. Michael George, his 6th touchdown on the year. He's rushed for more than 350 yards. Just keep feeding the monster. 35 yards already tonight on 5 carries, averaging 7 yards a carry.
Wow. Reed Hughes snaps and Nick McEwen holds. Jordan Wicks will attempt the extra point. It is up, and it's good. Wampus Cats take the lead 7-0 with the George touchdown and the extra point. Cats have a 7-6 lead following the Michael George touchdown and the extra point by Jordan Wicks. So an interception to begin the game and then back-to-back touchdown drives for both teams.
Yeah, big possession there for Conway as you get behind early. You already had a turnover on your first possession, so great job by the Wampus Cats methodically driving down the field and started off with a great kickoff return by B.J. Jones.
A one-handed grab and then a nice return on that by B.J. Jones. Now the defense is going to have a chance to come out. This defense is giving up fewer than 20 points each week. In fact, they've gotten a little bit better, 19, 18, and 16 points they've given up. And so they are looking now tonight to get their offense back on the field quickly, wanting to get a turnover of their own.
Yeah, we talked about Southside has given up the most points in 7A Central, through the non-conference schedule. Conway, on the other side of that, they've given up the fewest amount of points defensively through the non-conference schedule. Hard to really compare, though, non-conference schedules. You're playing all kinds of different teams.
Well, and you look at the non-conference schedules for the teams in the 7A Central. We can talk more about that in a little while. They do all look very, very different. Ball goes into the end zone, and the Mavericks will have it 1st and 10. We can talk about it now, actually, because the interesting thing is Southside's played as tough a schedule as anybody. They played Rogers Heritage, who's down. But other than that, they played the #1 team in 6A in Greenwood, the #1 team in 7A, Springdale Harbor. You had Conway, an improved Springdale team. By all accounts, Springdale's better than they've been in a long time. And then a Jonesboro squad that was ranked in the top 10, and a Bentonville squad that was ranked in the top 10. You've got North Little Rock, who hasn't even crossed the Arkansas River yet until tonight, playing home games and then playing at Maumelle. You've got Cabot, who hasn't played a 7A team yet. They've only played 6A and 5A schools in non-conference until tonight. So all of that, you're right, you can look at it, but everything points to week 4, which is where we are, and the Cats are on top by a point.
I've already heard folks out, outside in the real world. I mean, during the week, you run into folks, right? You talk about the Conway team. And I've had some people say, well, Bentonville's down, clearly. Jonesboro's down. I'm like, no, don't do that. All right, they're 2-1. They played some good competition. Don't be trying to downplay what Conway's done in the non-conference schedule.
Well, and these are upper echelon 6A schools, 7A schools that have state championship banners hanging everywhere. Those were some good wins. Pass is complete from Gatewood into the secondary. He found a spot. Pass is complete to Jordan Jackson, the junior, and they'll move the chains. 1st and 10. Cage Carter hustling off the field. Dobie, Friedel, and McKinney. Or correction, Terrell Grimes is the 3rd defensive lineman. It is a hot night for week 4 especially. See a lot of fresh legs out there as much as possible. Ulrich, the carry, barely back to midfield or back to the original line of scrimmage.
We talked about that back in week 1 about being a little fearful that it's been so unseasonably cool that we get later in the season and have a hot night. Might see some effects on probably both teams though.
2nd down and 9. This Maverick offense has looked good. They've faced very few 3rd downs, scoring on their first drive. Gatewood to throw, complete. Big hit by Jackson Freeman. Going to be enough to move the chains again. Matt Lloyd in on the stop.
Yeah, this Conway defense is definitely giving up some yards during non-conference play. Bentonville put up almost 80 more offensive yards than Conway did, but this defense has been so aggressive in forcing turnovers, had 3 turnovers last week, that you kind of always feel like at any moment they could take the ball away.
Eric Branch in the game. Big hit in the backfield. Trying to rip it loose. Running back Ricardo Savoy had a good hand on it. Did not let Garrett Fusilier and the rest of those Wampus Cat defenders knock it loose.
And it's not just the turnovers. This Conway defense has been putting a lot of pressure in the backfield, whether it's against the quarterback or like you saw there, hitting the running back behind the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 12, Tay Gatewood at quarterback.
It's a lonely place to be. It's not a good feeling when you jump off sides and
following the mark off. 2nd down and 7.
Coach is always quick with that hook too. Pulls you off.
Oh yeah, it's a teaching moment, right?
Yeah.
Gatewood will look to throw. Incomplete. Pass was intended for Savoy. Will Kennedy there providing some pressure. And now 3rd down. Will Kennedy looking at the students, waving his arms up towards those Hawaiian-clad students, telling them to make some noise. Need a big 3rd down stop right here. Ricardo Savoy off, Brendan Ulrich back in. This Jeff Williams-led Maverick team. He's going for career win number 100 tonight. Both teams looking to start the conference season with a victory. Gatewood on 3rd down. They have had that route often, and they have taken advantage of it. Another completion to Tyrese Solomon, and they'll move the chains again. They're finding a weak spot there over the middle.
Yeah, I sound like a broken record every week, but if we've had one critique of this defense, it has been that play right there, that little H-back or tight end, just that dump right over the hash, and not getting a good push at the line of scrimmage on those tight end H-backs, whatever you want to call them here.
Ulrich with the handoff. He breaks through, gets to the 15-yard line. Roman Aaron steps up to make the stop from his safety spot, and the Mavericks will go fast. Gatewood, quick out. Terrell Banks makes the stop of Mason Love, who caught the ball at 2nd down.
Yeah, what a job by Tyler Banks there, as he's getting the block out there on the edge, and he's able to push off there and come up and make the tackle. Really great play by Banks.
We've reached the end of the first quarter. The Wampus Cats lead 7-6 over the Southside Mavericks. We'll take 60 seconds and come back for the second quarter on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Helton's Wrecker U-Haul has the service you need. Whatever the automotive problem, Helton's has the diagnostics to repair it. If you're moving across town or across country, Helton's is your #1 choice for U-Haul in Conway. We have a wide selection of packing supplies for every aspect of your move. Also, we sell and install hitches. Call 327-4696 for a quote. At Helton's Wrecker U-Haul, we are always on our toes. Give us a call at 327-7681.
Fitness is about so much more than exercise. It's a catalyst for positive change, and it affects every aspect of your life. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center is your source for comprehensive medical-based health and fitness programs. Dedicated to improving the wellness of those within our community, we offer something for everyone in the family. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center, over 20 years of health and wellness in our community.
Just had a nice moment here between the first and second quarter as the 1977 Wampus Cat football team was introduced, as they are set up under the scoreboard to our left as we sit in the stadium, the north end zone. There was the team. We talked about them a couple of times throughout the year. Tonight was the night of their reunion and getting together and watching these Wampus Cats and watching the Cats lead 7-6 right now.
Yeah, and it's been all really running game for Conway in this first quarter. Only, 2 possessions on offense, and it's spread out pretty well. Michael George, 5 carries, 35 yards, and a score. Andrew Rhea, 2 carries, 16 yards, and Johnson, 2 carries, 14 yards to lead the way offensively for the Wampus Cats. Rhea, 1 of 2. Passing for 20 yards and the 1 pick.
So Gatewood has his team back on the field. It'll be an option he'll keep. And he'll step right into the end zone. An 11-yard touchdown run on the first play of the second quarter, and Southside retakes the lead. His second touchdown of the night.
Yeah, Gatewood is dangerous. He's dangerous on the edge, dangerous on play action, dangerous there with the draw. I mean, it's not an easy assignment for this Conway defense tonight.
So interesting, they go for the 2-point conversion on the first touchdown, and you talked about chasing that point. Well, now they're only up 5, and now they'll choose to go for the extra point. Robles is on to attempt the extra point, and it is good. So with 11:56 to play in the first half, it is Fort Smith Southside 13 and Conway 7. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5. So this Southside team, who came into the game and scored 85 points in their first 3 games, really they scored 85 points in 2 games because they were shut out by Greenwood.
Right.
They have scored the first 2 times they've had, had the ball tonight. A 1-yard touchdown run by Trey Gatewood and an 11-yard touchdown run by Gatewood.
Well, and they've been giving up a lot of points too. So if you're Conway, you don't have to get too stressed about it just yet.
And that's a great point. I mean, that was the second play from scrimmage. The interception was thrown, and honestly, that did nothing more than what a long kickoff return could have done. So obviously, you lose that possession, but Cats are very much still in a position where they can do what they need to do. A little pooch kick, take it at the 35-yard line to the 40. That's Matt Lloyd, and the Cats have it 1st and 10.
Talked to Matt's parents this week. They were cracking up over his interception on that 2-point conversion last week late in the Bentonville game, and how he was just taking off for the races. Of course, in high school football, you can't return, which those rules have changed in the NFL. So I could see why it's a little confusing, but They mentioned one of the coaches on the sideline grabbing him by the jersey and stopping him before he got too far down the field.
1st and 10 Cats at their own 40-yard line. Matt Lloyd with Michael George behind him. George having another big night. He'll get another run. Stacked up at the 40-yard line and pushed back. Stop is made by Mason Gregory. Also Cameron Belcher on the stop. Good to see him back in. He was banged up a little bit earlier. Give him a yard. It's 2nd down and 9.
Name we haven't got to talk about tonight, Nick Richmond.
Yeah, no passes to him at all. Came out throwing the ball, but that second pass being picked off. They've stayed primarily on the ground since then. Wide receivers stacked on both the left and the right side. Flag. Ball started. They're going to call Thomas Cloyd for it. And with 11:13 to play in the first half, at the 36-yard line, as the Cats will have it 2nd down and 14.
A little bit of a personnel change here. Chris Anderson comes on, a little heavier set.
Chris Patterson there with him as well, left side. Low snap, Rhea gathers it up and throws. There's that guy, Nick Richmond, and he's into the secondary, and he will pull away. There is a flag on the field. Let's see what it all is. If it's not against the Wampus Cats, then that is a 64-yard touchdown pass from Rhea to Nick Richmond. Let's get the flag.
Stats feels like it's going to be a good call for us.
We'll wait for the man in the white hat to give us the official word. Boy, Richmond, great catch on that pass. Shook the defender and got into the end zone. Boy, Coach Brian Rainey is not happy. They're going to call that pass interference. And so that is coming back. What was a 64-yard pass play to Nick Richmond is going to be a penalty instead. Football marked all the way back at the 21-yard line.
It's a big penalty, too. And when Conway struggled this year, it's been because of self-inflicted injuries.
Well, and you said it a couple of times as we've gotten ready for this game and even during some of the pregame work that we did. This team has only lost to themselves. Springdale played good, and they got a little bit of credit. They deserve some. But if Conway plays the game they're capable of, even being down that night, then that's a win. Will McKenna comes up, pushes the defender who had him around the neck and threw him down. Absolutely no flag thrown for pass interference or grabbing him around the neck. It will be 3rd down and 29.
These coaches are running hot on the sidelines right now.
Well, and our crowd mics are picking up a lot of the angry fans in front of us as well. There was a pass interference against Nick Richmond that took a touchdown off the board. And then that occurred when it was not called. And there's a lot of people running hot right now. Timeout called by Southside. Those coaches are mad. Everybody's so angry right now. 10 minutes and 24 seconds to play in the first half. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Auto Center is Central Arkansas's most reliable auto repair and recovery company. Our state-of-the-art facility in Conway is your one-stop shop for everything automotive. With over 80 years combined experience, our certified technicians are known for expert workmanship and attention to every detail. We also provide the area's very best towing and recovery services. We take great pride in our work, and your satisfaction is 100% guaranteed.
Come to Steve's Auto Center for all your automotive needs.
10 minutes and 24 seconds to play in the first half.
Coach Ashcraft out on the field. still demanding an explanation.
Well, and I think deservedly so. That's now granted, we sound like we are homers. I mean, we try to act one way, but I mean, we broadcast these games for a very, very long time, and you hate to see any call so obviously missed. Even if it were going to win against us, you'd be frustrated by it.
We're not the Southside broadcasters. That's what
We are
trying
not.
to say.
They're next to us. In fact, I wonder if we can hear them, what they would think about that call. 3rd down and 29. Rhea steps up, goes left. He's going to have to run. Flag comes in. Rhea makes it to the 38-yard line.
And this one's going to be coming back, too, as they had a hold on the left side.
So 2 flags.
Then another flag out. Yeah, I'm not sure what the other flag was, but like a block in the back.
It has turned into a
says.
sloppy game.
We've gotten so used to some really clean football these past 2 weeks, and how quickly we forgot that Springdale game.
You know, and I was going to mention the same thing. It's like we've watched this team. So offsetting penalties will replay 3rd down. 3rd and 29 still.
Yeah, good hands to the face down on the line. I thought it was going to be a hold on the left side against Conway. So nice, somewhat of a break there as we get offsetting penalties.
So 5 wideouts for the Wampus Cats. This is one of those times that I wonder if your best bet isn't just to unload a 50-yard pass, throw it up for grabs. If it gets picked off, then it serves the same point as a punt. If it gets caught, then you've moved the chains, but you got to get 30 yards here for a 1st down. Rhea will step up, roll left, takes a sack, and is dropped at the 15-yard line. So that fell apart in a really ugly way following the questionable back-to-back calls on Nick Richmond on a pass that he took to the end zone and a screen pass intended for Will McKenna that completely got blown up. And motors are running hot right now all across John McConnell Stadium, especially on the home side. So Will Kennedy will hustle on, and he will punt on 4th and 35. And we need one of those big Will Kennedy punts right here. He's been averaging a little over 34 yards a punt. Flag comes in. Line drive punt. Mishandled. Big hit on Mason Love. So we'll see what the flag is. The official back on the 5-yard line will take a few steps and call it. Illegal shift on the Wampus Cats.
Keeps getting going from bad to worse tonight, here in the second quarter.
And Coach Ashcraft has got his arms out asking, what did they do? That's a move that we've seen Wampus Cat teams make for as long as we've called these games. Well, the Cats are going to have to get some composure here. This is obviously since that touchdown that was called back, things have just, as you said, they've gotten from bad to worse. The Cats are going to have to find a way to stop the bleeding here, get a stop defensively, make something happen on this special teams play. It's 4th down and 40.
You don't see that a whole lot.
Nice punt. He called a fair catch, and then he ran with it. Mason Love down to the 15-yard line.
What? Okay, we'll take it.
A fumble on the play.
So
what
now,
on earth?
Now if you're the Conway coaches, you're swallowing that whole. He fair caught it.
Well, and there's a flag back in the. There's a flag in the end zone.
This has been
so
wild.
Wait a minute. Okay, so roughing the kicker penalty on Will Kennedy. So it's 15 yards, an automatic 1st down. So the fair catch
from the last spot
from
before
the spot,
we punted.
right?
Okay, so none of the punt return didn't happen.
So yeah, the fact that he called a fair catch and didn't make a fair catch, the fact that there was a fumble, I am exhausted.
So we go from 4th and 40, 15-yard penalty.
Now they're putting 49 seconds back on the game clock.
I got to stand up, Jeff. This is nuts.
Wow.
And first of all, he fair caught the ball, so, but the penalty would have made
negated
that
the
mood
punt.
anyway.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter what happened.
Another flag.
Another flag comes in. Michael George on the run. How about Chris Patterson? I don't know if our cameras got that or not. Number 40, Chris Patterson, just drove his guy back about 10 more yards. That's my gravy-making Chris Patterson right there. Great play.
No hams left behind.
That's correct. So another penalty against the Wampus Cats. It feels like this crew is losing control of this game.
Well, I can't remember the last play we had that didn't have a flag thrown.
So it's first down and 15. It's a crazy few minutes of football. Rhea. He will look deep for Joe Thomas. Incomplete. Second and 15.
Got two quarterbacks that can throw a good deep ball.
Yes. And we've got some receivers that can go out there and get it too.
Just overthrown by a couple steps, but pretty perfect location on that ball.
Yeah, he put air under it to go out there and get it, just couldn't quite track it down. 8 minutes and 50 seconds in a second quarter that has grinded to a halt. All the penalties, the confusion, and explanations and everything else. On the ground to Michael George. George, that'll be enough to move the chains. No flags on the field is as much an accomplishment as anything. It's first and 10, Wampus Cats.
Yeah, Conway going back to what's been working for them tonight. Really the only thing that's been working offensively has been the ground game.
$8:43 to play, first half. Rhea awaiting the snap.
Another flag.
And I really almost... They didn't say who it was on that time. But we've got a season's worth of penalties here in the second quarter, it's felt like.
You know, I might be able to tell you that. We've had, coming into this game, we've had 15 penalties through 3 games.
We're getting
We've
close.
had 5 tonight.
Okay.
So.
Rhea. Intercepted. And it's going to be a pick 6. Jalen Coleman with the interception.
Definitely underthrown ball there from Rhea, but if you're Joe Thomas, you gotta come back and put up an effort to at least knock it down.
Yeah.
Mistakes, penalties, turnovers, it's hard to overcome.
That was as wild a few minutes of actual game clock as you can imagine. That's we saw practically everything in there. Things I don't know that I've ever seen.
Well, we saw a touchdown called back. Then we saw a completely missed penalty, defender hugging Will McKenna. And then at least it felt like 20 more penalties. I don't know. It was too many to count.
All right, well, after all of that, the Wampus Cats are going to get the ball back. 8:18 to play in the first half. The Mavericks lead 20-7. We'll take 30 seconds, and we're back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Your life is about to change forever, and Conway Regional will be with you every step of the way. We're committed to being the best. That's why our OBGYNs won't deliver anywhere else. Your newborn will benefit from our groundbreaking nursery alliance with Arkansas Children's Hospital. And as you adapt to the new world that's in front of you, know that everyone at Conway Regional is all on the same team. Yours. One team, one promise. Conway Regional.
All right, 8:18 to play in the first half. It's 20-7. The Mavericks have the lead, and there's a lot of Wampus Cat coaches who have the same stance on the sideline right now. Hands on their hips, a little bit of disbelief about what has happened here the last few minutes. Whether the calls were missed or the calls were right, your team has to overcome that. And they have to keep making plays, because one slip up and things change drastically. The Cats are going to have to rebound here quickly, trailing now 20-7. Tons of football still to play, not acting like this one's over, but they need to get it straightened out.
Well, good news if you're Conway, I know we've said this Southside team has given up points, and this Conway team has put up 28 points in one quarter against Jonesboro, so they can score in a hurry and come back in this way.
Cats will start the drive at the 24-yard line. Check at the 23 is where things will begin for the Wampus Cats. We'll send the offense back out there and try to get them going. And you mentioned a couple of times, the only thing working so far is Michael George.
Yeah, Michael George has been doing what Michael George does, just give him the ball. And the hope there, too, is that the more you give George the ball, I mean, 7 carries, 52 yards tonight, the more that's going to open up a play action so you can get this passing game kicked off, too, at some point.
Giovanni Johnson will carry. Comes to the right. Tackled at the 27-yard line. Stop made by Belcher. Also on the stop, Travis Chaffee. Just under 8 minutes to play in the first half.
What cracks me up about Johnson is these design runs that he does, it looks like, you know, just watching it, you're thinking, there's no way he's going to gain any yards here, but he's got such a long stride. He gets out to that corner fast, and before you know it, he's got, 5 yards.
It's a low snap, but a good job by Giovanni. Follows his block. Nice job by Thomas Cloyd to kick him outside. That's going to be close to a first down.
Yeah, good job there by Johnson as he bounces it out to the right where his blockers were, and they had sealed off a nice little path for him to the sideline.
And it is enough to the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wampus Cats. The numbers benefit Nick Richmond to the top of the screen again. See if Andrew Rhea looks that way. Instead, he'll look into the gut of Michael George. Michael George to midfield. George, 50 carries coming into the night. He keeps adding to that. And a couple of injured players on the field, both of them wearing white.
This one looking a little serious, too, how quickly the officials called for the injury timeout.
And they will hustle out and tend to that injured Maverick that's at midfield. We'll go ahead and take a timeout here as they check on him. 7:26 to play in the first half. 20-7 Mavericks. Take 30 seconds on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Looking to make your truck stand out from the rest? U.S. Truck offers a variety of accessories to fit your needs. Tonneau covers, camper shells, toolboxes, bed liners, Nerf bars and running boards, trailer hitches, lift kits, and much, much more. We offer top quality products at a fair price with installation available. Oh, and ask about our military and senior discounts. U.S. Truck Accessories, 1335 East Oak Street in Conway. Work hard, play hard.
The injured Maverick was number 13, Ryan Tucker. Help him off to the sideline. We have a Ryan Tucker that works for us that was not injured on that play. I assume. I don't know. He's down in the truck, in the trailer, so hopefully he's okay. And hopefully so is the Ryan Tucker that's wearing the blue and white.
Speaking of our Ryan Tucker.
Yes, sir.
I hadn't seen him, since basketball.
Yeah.
And then we do the preseason shoot. The guy lost like half of his body weight.
He's working hard.
He's looking good.
Andrew Rhea stepping in the pocket. He'll unload. Looking for Nick Richmond. Too far. double coverage the 3 games that the Wampus Cats have played. Obviously, that Southside coaching staff, they knew at least on that play to put 2 on number 14.
Yeah, and you heard Coach talk about that in the coaches show this week, talking about Nick Richmond. You know, he mentioned the more tape that that our opponents get of Richmond, they're going to start putting an extra guy over the top to help cover him, which means these other receivers are going to have to step up and help alleviate some of that pressure. Speaking of pressure, Ria's made some mistakes tonight throwing the ball, but he's faced a lot more pressure tonight than he has in the previous 2 weeks combined.
2nd down and 10, Giovanni Johnson back in the game. And he will run to the left. Johnson stood up at the 45-yard line. It will be 3rd down and 5. Tackle made by Garrett Cool. And it's going to be 3rd down with Andrew Rhea and Michael George back in. 6:45, the clock rolling in the 2nd quarter. And that's sort of mistakes that will really drive coaches crazy. Forgetting a snap count, whatever it might be. Back them up to midfield. It's 3rd down and 10.
And, I mean, this offense has just continued to put itself in some tough spots tonight. And you go from a 3rd and 5. It's just a whole different scenario, a whole different probably play options at 3rd and 10.
Timeout going to be called by Southside. We'll take it with the teams on the field. 6:20 to play in the 2nd quarter. Cats are trailing 20 to 7. Back in 30 seconds on Conway Corp Channel 5. Hi, I'm Jeff Matthews. Join us live this Friday night for Wampus Cats to Go. Watch the game live on Channel 5 and 585 or online at conwaycorp.com/WC to go. It's Conway at North Little Rock this Friday night, live on Wampus Cats to Go. 6 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the first half. I was talking to Coach Janet Taylor, with Conway Sports, been around a very long time, former basketball coach, now coaches golf and assistant athletic director. She said, hey, will you remind people that this Tuesday and Wednesday that the 7A Girls State Golf Tournament is going to be held here in town at Centennial Valley. And not only are the Lady Cats golf team the defending state champions, but of course Casey Ott is the defending overall champion, and that event will be in a couple of weeks. But this week, if you like golf, some fantastic golf, you'll see some players who are going to play collegiately and maybe beyond Tuesday and Wednesday.
They play here locally?
At Centennial Valley.
Oh, okay.
That's where it is this week, is Centennial Valley. The boys tournament is next week up in Northwest Arkansas. 3rd down, Rhea will tuck and run, dives forward, out of bounds at the 44-yard line. And it is going to be 4th down.
So an interesting spot here for Conway is they're trailing by 13 midway through the 2nd quarter. And it looks like they will come out and punt it away.
The Southside team has only had the ball twice tonight. Touchdown drives both times. They also had a pick 6 to get their 20 points on the board. But hopefully a good punt here from Will Kennedy. It's a fake. Or was it? How did I completely miss what just happened?
It was just kind of a strange response from the Southside receiving team. It's like they just let everybody run through. It kind of looked
I'm
like...
so sorry.
No. It was, I was a little confused too. It kind of looked like they were running a fake the way that the Mavericks just didn't respond at all to the play.
Oh, my gosh.
They just let everyone run straight through.
Whatever just happened, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
And we almost pinned it down at the 1. I mean,
Matt Lloyd was close.
Good effort by him.
So Tay Gatewood, who's had a big night tonight, will hand the ball off to Savoy. Ricardo Savoy is stopped by B.J. Jones and Jackson Freeman.
And Jackson Freeman made the tackle. 9-yard gain, 2nd down and 1.
Second down.
Well, this is a big possession or a big series here for this defense. Is Southside's going to get the ball to start the second half. Conway really needs to get a stop here.
And instead, another nice run by Savoy. Garrett Fusilier has him around the ankles. Enough to move the chains. 1st and 10. 4:41, 4:40, 4:39, clock running here in the second quarter. Cats trailing 20-7. This defense needs a stop. Gatewood will throw. Now he'll run. Forced out of bounds. Darnell Washington encourages him to step out.
That's tough to defend right there, as Gatewood really does a great job of you know, running that fake to make it look like he was going to stay back there to pass, but slowly inching forward as he was waiting just enough to open things up. Scamper out to the right.
2nd down and 3. They'll stay on the ground. That's Ulrich. Corlin McKinney and others in on the stop. It will be enough to move the chains again for this Southside team, and they are just doing whatever they want to offensively tonight.
That clock ticking against Conway here, and if you're this Conway defense, you just got to find a way to keep them from getting more points on the board before the end of the half.
Gatewood tripped up in the backfield. P.J. Jones. Correction, that's Jordan Doby, 52, not 32. 2nd down and 8 at the 46-yard line. Under 4 minutes to play. Clock ticking. Again, only the 3rd offensive possession tonight for this Southside team, but they lead 20-7. On the ground, Ulrich, Doby, and Friedel on the stop. So it's 3rd down. Cats have all 3 timeouts left. They can get a stop, maybe get a timeout, get a chance to get this offense going and get something positive before halftime. But it all starts with a 3rd down stop right here. Gatewood throws. Complete, but it's going to be short of the 1st down.
Yeah, I think he got him.
Gatewood to Ulrich is complete.
It's Darnell Washington on the stop of Ulrich. And it is going to be short of the 1st down. 4th down on a long yard. Jeff Williams leading by 13. Going to leave his team on the field. They've had success tonight. Let's see what they can do on 4th down. Gatewood will not have to make a 4th down snap. So 1st and 10 following the penalty. An uncharacteristic first 2 quarters from these Wampus Cats.
And mistakes on both sides tonight. I mean, we've been beating up on the offense a little bit tonight, but...
Right, well, this defense has allowed Southside to do whatever they wanted to. And they played great. Pass complete to the big tight end. That is Alts, makes the catch. And it was Jackson Freeman stepping up to make the stop.
There's a lot of tight ends these days wearing number 87.
Yeah, I wonder why. Anybody in New England that they...
Well, Gronk and Kelsey,
Oh,
Kansas
yeah.
City.
Yeah. 90 seconds to play in the first half. It's good defensive play. It'll be third down and short. Ulrich on the carry. Third down and 2. Minute 15 to go. Biscuits on the sideline. Looking this way. Thomas Robertson, the senior, waving his arms up, trying to get the crowd into it. He knows it's a big play. Third and 2. Pass incomplete, and the clock will stop. And a flag on the play. Ulrich was the intended receiver, who is the same person as Ulrich that I've been calling him all night long. Initial call is it's going to be against the Mavericks on a hold. And it's worth mentioning, and I apologize for just now spotting it, but the Wampus Cats are missing a key component of this defensive line. Number 99, Kane Aaron, is on the sidelines, and he has got his right arm in a cast or a brace of some kind, and he is not wearing pads. So Kane Aaron not being a part of this team tonight is certainly something that is making an impact, because he was playing some great football the first 3 weeks. So they'll back him up, 3rd and 16 with 45 seconds, the clock running. Ulrich in motion. Gatewood pressured, throws, incomplete. Now the clock will stop with 34 seconds and 4th down and 16.
So Conway gets a little bit better scenario here with 4th and long. You definitely know they're going to punt now. With 34 seconds, doesn't seem like a lot of time, but like you mentioned, 3 timeouts, you might be able to put something together
Well,
here.
and this team certainly has big play capability. We've seen it once tonight, a 64-yard touchdown that was brought back. They have a good punter. He's a sophomore named Adam Puckett. Will Kennedy and Jackson Freeman deep. The punt barely rolls into the end zone, just enough.
Another lucky break for Conway there. No matter what happens here on this possession, you know, props to the Conway defense for getting a stop. I mean, that was a big win for them to keep Southside from getting on the board, putting any more points up before half, because Southside's going to get the ball to start the second half.
So see what Brian Rainey can dial up here in this last half a minute or so. Coming up at halftime, we will have the Wampus Cat Marching Band performance for you. They are in their full dress tonight. And for week 4, it is a hot night. And so those kids, I know, are well ready for the cooler weather, because they're wearing everything normal tonight. It's got to be hot. We'll have their performance coming up at halftime. Low snap. It'll be Michael George, who carries to the 28-yard line. 18 seconds. Check that, 19 seconds. They'll call a timeout. So we'll take you with the teams on the field. 30 seconds, and we'll be back to wrap up the first half on Conway Corp Channel 5. (20-7) is our score, with Southside leading. Conway using a timeout. See what they can dial up and see what they can do here at the end. You've got 5 wideouts. And it was just a crazy sequence, if you missed it earlier, where there was a touchdown called back on a questionable pass interference call. The very next play, an obvious pass interference call that wasn't called. Time put back on the clock. It was a mess. Pass is complete. Will Kennedy still on his feet. Kennedy down to the 45-yard line. Clock will stop with 8 seconds to go. But the game really turned then. And the Wampus Cats couldn't overcome that and find themselves down 20-7. So with 8 seconds to go here, let's see what they can try to do. They're going to call another timeout. They'll have one remaining.
Great effort there by Will Kennedy, getting a few extra yards after the catch. And with 8 seconds left, if you can get a quick pass, another quick pass like we saw on that last play, get down quickly, use that last timeout, set yourself up for a Wicks field goal. Maybe you can get within 10 going into the half.
And you know Jordan's got the leg for it. He's 1 of 2 on field goal attempts this year, but he's a perfect 15 of 15 on extra points. And his kickoffs are consistently going into the end zone. So the leg is there, the accuracy is there. We'll see what becomes of the next 8 seconds.
And he hasn't had a field goal attempt since the very first week.
Since the Springdale game. It was, I believe, a 43-yard attempt that he had in the second half that sailed just a little bit right. First and 10, 8 seconds to go in the first half. Rhea, pressured, steps up, and he is dropped.
Rhea dropped from the backfield at the 48-yard line.
And they're going to put 1 second back on the clock. So they're putting 1 second on the clock, and they did call a timeout. So the Cats will have a chance to do something here. This defensive front from Southside has been impressive tonight.
Yeah, very long and very quick.
Yes.
And you know, to Conway's credit, they faced some really talented defensive lines already this season. But they're having trouble, particularly on the edges, with slowing these guys down.
Coach Clint Ashcraft. You know that he is ready to get his guys into the end zone or into the locker room and chat a little bit about what happened in the first half and remind them we've got 2 more quarters of football to go, and you've played a lot better this season than you have in the first half. Got to overcome some mistakes. Got to eliminate those altogether in the second half. Rhea steps up and throws. Nick Richmond makes the catch, and he will help pad the stats a little bit, but nothing more than that as the first half has come to an end. It is halftime. Our score, Southside 20 and Conway 7. Time now for the Conway Regional Health System halftime show.
Hi, I'm Dr. Greg Kendrick with Conway Regional Health System. Conway Regional has been an important part of this community since 1938, providing excellent care with skill and compassion. But we're not just a hospital. Let me tell you about some of our fantastic facilities and services. Located off of College Avenue, just a few blocks down from the medical center, Conway Regional After Hours Clinic is equipped to handle a wide variety of problems for patients of all ages. If you need urgent care, and it's after work or on the weekend, the Conway Regional After Hours Clinic is open 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Conway Regional After Hours Clinic, your best option for after-hours care. Located on Robinson Avenue next to Laurel Park, the Conway Regional Rehabilitation Hospital is one of only 4 licensed inpatient rehab hospitals in the entire state. Patients are cared for by specially trained staff under the direction of an on-site physician who specializes in rehabilitation medicine. Conway Regional Rehab Hospital, your choice for comprehensive care to bring you one step closer to home.
Fitness is about so much more than exercise. It's a catalyst for positive change, and it affects every aspect of your life. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center is your source for comprehensive, medical-based health and fitness programs. Dedicated to improving the wellness of those within our community, we offer something for everyone in the family. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center, over 20 years of health and wellness in our community.
With 4 locations in Conway and Greenbrier, some with extended clinic hours, our dedicated team provides therapy services including physical, speech, and occupational therapy, aquatic therapy, cardiac rehabilitation, sports outreach, and pelvic floor rehabilitation. At Conway Regional, we are committed to providing all of our patients the highest quality of care.
Under the field command of Drew Majors, Jacob Scott, Chris Walters, and Riley Parker, the band presents their 2017 show featuring the music of West Side Story. Ladies and gentlemen, the Conway Wampus Cat Magic Band! Southside.
Fitness is about so much more than exercise. It's a catalyst for positive change, and it affects every aspect of your life. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center is your source for comprehensive medical-based health and fitness programs. Dedicated to improving the wellness of those within our community, we offer something for everyone in the family. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center, over 20 years of health and wellness in our community.
Welcome back to halftime, the Conway Regional Health System halftime show. Our thanks to Dr. Naylor again for visiting with us, some great insight. I understand there may have been a few technical issues with that where you couldn't hear everything he said. I can tell you it was all fabulous. And the most important thing he said, other than making sure that all of our kids are safe, is that it's his wife's birthday. So if that didn't make it on the air, I want to make sure it did. He did wish you happy birthday and had lots of nice things to say. So again, thanks to Dr. Naylor. Great job by the band as always, and now we need a great job by the Wampus Cats in the second half, because the first half, quite frankly, was not great.
Yeah, not a lot of positives to talk about from the first half statistically, other than Michael George, 9 carries, 77 yards, and the lone score for Conway. I think for the Wampus Cats here in the second half, you got to get back to that formula, because your best defense against this Southside offense might be, keeping the ball away from them as much as possible, as Tay Gatewood kind of gashed Conway, both running and passing. He had 9 carries, 58 yards, 2 scores. He was 7 of 9 from the pocket for 65 yards. But really the big key for Conway was all these mistakes and penalties, as they were penalized 6 times in the first half for 42 yards. And I mean, that's not what we've been used to these last 2 weeks.
And it's 42 yards in penalties. But what that doesn't account for is the 64-yard touchdown that was taken off the board because of the penalty that was called. And so not the best 2 quarters of football. Are the Cats out of it? Absolutely not. Do they need to stop on defense and a turnover? Yeah, absolutely. And they can hopefully get that real soon, as we are beginning now the second half, and a good start to the second half as special teams coming up and making a good play. Cole Hoover. And there is an injured Maverick on the field.
Is that the kicker?
I believe that was Cole. It might have been Matt Lloyd. My apologies if I got the name wrong. The injured player for Southside?
Yes.
Is that who you're asking about? Got the binoculars on him. Get turned around a little bit. That's number 14 for the Mavericks. It's Garrett Cole, the linebacker for them. Made a big play in the first half. All right, defense. Let's see what you got. These guys have played great the whole season, and it's time now for them to step up and find a way to neutralize Tay Gatewood, number 5. He's got Ricardo Savoy next to him. Gatewood will throw. Complete, and a huge hit. Darnell Washington on the hit. Stats on the sound effects. It is second down.
That's a lose your mind kind of hit right there. That took the breath out of stats, took the breath out of this Conway whole homestand side over here.
Look, Darnell Washington raising those arms, making some noise. Second down and 12.
Well, that'll get things going on the first play of the second half.
Savoy next to Gatewood. Gatewood runs to the 20-yard line. Momentum to the 21. Bottom of the pile, that's B.J. Jones. It's third down. Boy, the Cats could use a 3 and out here to begin the half. Third down. They've got to get to the 25 for the first down. Gatewood sends Savoy in motion. Flags come in. Ball start on the Mavericks, so what was 3rd and 4 will now be 3rd and 9. 10.5 to play in the third quarter. We are just underway in half number 2. The first half belonged to the Mavericks, leading 20-7. Cats need to keep the intensity up. It's been a good start to this half. Don't get lackadaisical now. Third down. Another flag. It has been a sloppy game, especially for week 4. This refereeing crew calls more of those penalties.
We talked about how many penalties Conway had against them in the first half, 6. Well, Southside had 5. Now they've got 7, so they've actually had more penalties than Conway.
Third down and 14. They've lost 10 yards in penalties. Back to back. Gatewood will throw. Steps up. He will be dropped inside the 5. Loose ball. Nope, they're going to say it was down. Gatewood stopped inside the 5. Big sack by Jordan Doby. Nice play by number 52. And the defense needed that desperately.
We talked about how aggressive this Conway defense has been. They had 3 turnovers last week, 3 sacks, but no turnovers or sacks in this first half. Finally, this defense coming to life.
Bounces out of bounds. So great field position for the Wampus Cats, and the defense did exactly what they needed to do. Now it's this offense's turn.
Yeah, short field for this Conway offense. Let's give Michael George some more work. Take advantage of this short field.
So they called it a block in the back?
Yes. But we didn't return the ball, so not really sure.
I'm glad you asked that, because I was really about to say there was no advancing the football, so this is one of those nights I wish it was a road game.
Right, so we can call your
Brooks
man,
Smith, yeah.
Brooks Smith.
And what's great about Brooks Smith is that he's kind of on call. And so even if he's not watching the game at that moment, someone he knows is, and contacts him and says, Jeff's got a question. It's like the bat signal. Same idea. All right, the ball's to the 46-yard line. Still good field position for the Cats. One-on-one coverage for Nick Richmond out here on the near side. See if they send a safety over the top to help or not.
Richmond pointing over the sideline. Maybe we're all seeing the same thing here.
Michael George is with Andrew Rhea. He'll stay on the ground to George, and that was a good choice. Michael George to the 32-yard line. Move the chains for a Wampus Cat first down. That's a Conway Regional Health System first down. Mason Bashirs makes the stop.
It really is about the only thing that has worked for this offense tonight. Let's just keep going to it if we have to.
Brian Rainey thinking the same thing you are, Levi.
And some nights you have that happen where just things aren't working like they have been, and sometimes you just gotta ride the hot hand as long as you can.
Into double digits now as far as carries go. He's had 50 carries in the first 3 games.
Yeah, 11 rushes tonight, 96 yards, and 1 score.
12th carry of the night. Michael George inside the 5, swung into the end zone, touchdown. 27-yard touchdown run for Michael George.
When it's working, don't stop. Feed the monster. Michael George, what a night for him. 12 carries now, 123 yards, and both scores for this Conway offense.
Thomas Cloyd, Keandre Clay, LJ Hansberry, great job from the center out to the right. Making some room for Michael George to score. 7-point game with Jordan Wicks to attempt the extra point. Nick McEwen will set it down, and Reed Hughes will snap it. And Jordan Wicks will do it again. The extra point is good. Our score, 20-14 in favor of the Mavericks. We will take a 30-second timeout and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Since 1902, Odd Insurance has been protecting what's important to you. featuring Auto Owners Insurance. Auto Owners is ranked among the Fortune 500 14 years in a row.
We were victims of the tornadoes of both 2011 and 2014. Our odd insurance agents worked really hard to make sure we were fully compensated for our losses.
You ought to call us today. That's Odd Insurance in downtown Conway.
8:42 to play in the third quarter, and a touchdown on the first drive of the second half for the Wampus Cats results in a touchdown, a 3-play, 46-yard drive that ends with a Michael George touchdown run.
And it was all Michael George.
The whole 46 yards of it was
Yeah.
Michael George, yeah.
Short field, and, you know, he gets a first down on that first carry and just keep giving it to him. The quarterback play has been a little off tonight, and that's going to happen sometimes, and you just got to go with what's working. And tonight it's been the Michael George show again.
Kickoff taken at the 5-yard line. That's Love. That special teams is flying around. Whatever Coach Ashcraft had to say in that beautiful new building over there is working, at least through the first 3.5 minutes or so.
Well, and sometimes you just need a play to get things moving too. And that first play of Southside's first possession here to start the half, that little pass out in the flats that Darnell Washington just blew up. Sometimes you just need that one spark, and then we get the first sack of the night. This defense they're ready to go again. They're excited to be back out there.
Jordan Doby, Terrell Grimes, Zach Friedel. They're the defensive line. Ulrich to the 23. Matt Lloyd steps in and makes the stop along with Roman Aaron. A couple of second-level guys there coming in after able to get past that first line of defense. Tay Gatewood, junior, talented athlete, Southside Maverick, sends Altus in motion. He will hand off to Ulrich. Jordan Doby, a big stop. Boy, slung him down at the 24-yard line. That is going to bring up third down. Boy, good play by Jordan Doby. He's having a nice game. So here we go, third down and 2. Can the Cats force a punt again? It'll be interesting to see if there are any mental mistakes in the second half. You know that's something that Coach preached in the second half, in the halftime locker room as well. Gaywood fooled everybody. Tyler Banks pushes him out of bounds.
Fooled this crowd for sure. They thought the running back had the ball, and that's what's been so hard about Gatewood tonight is, especially on those options, is you just don't know what he's going to do because he's been doing everything so well tonight.
He reminds me a little bit of, to a certain extent, and now they'll go with a direct snap to Ulrich. No, correct. I'm sorry, that's Gatewood. But he reminds me a little bit of Gerard Barnes, just the way that they use him, and kind of maybe it's his build, but he just reminds me of what we saw with Barnes for so many years over at Cabot. So move the chains again, 1st and 10. This Maverick team scored touchdowns their first 2 drives and a couple of punts since then. Under 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. It is a 6-point game. Stacked receivers at the top and bottom. Gatewood throws right, incomplete. To midfield. It'll be second down.
Southside team runs a lot of similar sets as this Conway offense. That last formation there, he had the 2 out on each side and one receiver kind of lined up directly behind. the other. We've seen Conway run that set multiple times tonight.
Tyrese Solomon was the receiver on the last play. Ulrich to the left of Gatewood. Altus in motion, and there is a flag.
This last Southside drive was kind of derailed by some false starts.
Yeah.
So another nice break here for Conway. The more you can push this team back and push Gatewood back especially, the more manageable these 3rd and shorts can become. Turn them into 3rd and longs.
We're at the halfway mark of the 3rd quarter. 20-14, it's a slow game tonight. It's almost already 9 o'clock in real time. 2 hours, not even halfway through the 3rd quarter. Gatewood with that little fake pitch. Zach Friedel grabs him around the shoulder pads and throws him down. Great tackle by the senior. It's 3rd down and 11. It's Wampus Cat defense. Jordan Doby, Terrell Grimes, and Zach Friedel up front.
Definitely looks like this defense was able to make some adjustments at halftime.
Yes. Let's see what Gatewood can do. He sends Ulrich in motion. Tay Gatewood will throw. Looking deep. It's going to be a touchdown. Catch is made by Jordan Jackson. Beat the defender.
Gatewood. Cold man right there. He's been doing it all tonight, running the ball well, passing the ball well, puts it in a perfect spot. And this Southside team has played above their record tonight.
26-14 with 4:54 to play in the 3rd quarter. And the extra point makes it a 27-14 game in favor of the Mavericks. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Steve's Auto Center is Central Arkansas's most reliable auto repair and recovery company. Our state-of-the-art facility in Conway is your one-stop shop for everything automotive. With over 80 years combined experience, our certified technicians are known for expert workmanship and attention to every detail. We also provide the area's very best towing and recovery services. We take great pride in our work, and your satisfaction is 100% guaranteed.
Come to Steve's Auto Center for all your automotive needs.
So a big play from Tay Gatewood to Jordan Jackson. A couple of juniors hooking up on that play that hurt the Wampus Cats. Cats got back to within a touchdown and now found themselves trailing 27-14. Going to have to get back on and see what they can do offensively.
And you said the words, big play. It's not something that this Conway defense has given up a lot of in the first 3 games this season, and that was a big play right there that they gave up.
And it's just proof when you get into conference, it just changes. It's just a different animal in conference play.
Well, and your opponents have so much more tape on you.
Yes.
You know, like it's just a different homework assignment at this point when you get into conference.
Ball is loose. Unfortunately, B.J. Jones able to get the football.
I know I've said this before on air, but that is the job I would least want to have on the football field, returning kickoffs or punts.
Either one.
Probably punts more so because it's just so high. Yeah.
It's high.
I don't have very good depth perception, so.
Well, then you would probably not be the one they would choose to do that job.
No, yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Play your way right out of it. All right, back on the ground. See what Michael George can do. He's had a great night again. Through 2.5 quarters is over 100 yards rushing. Second down and 3. That's 7 more yards, too.
It's a cool 7 yards right
Yes.
there.
George again. Be enough to move the chains. The Conway Regional Health System first down.
I have no problems turning into the Cabot Panthers tonight. If it's what it
Do you
takes
not?
to get back into this ball game, then just keep handing it off.
And for those who don't get the reference, it is simply run, 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 and run again.
But at some point, I feel like we're going to open up some play action.
That's Brennan Clark getting his first try tonight. He falls over the 35-yard line. Correction, Kerry McLean. Kerry McLean gets the second string carries tonight. Second down and 6. McLean. Well, they are just feeding the monster right behind L.J. Hansberry, with Lance Rogers and Keandre Clay anchoring the sides. Thomas Cloyd and Nate Turner further out than that. Move the chains for the Wampus Cats, trailing 27-14.
What's the saying? 4 yards and a trail of dust?
The thing is 3 yards and a cloud of dust.
Cloud of dust, okay.
Or it might have been 4 yards and a trail of dust, though, with the extra yard.
Well,
I'm not sure. We're from different generations.
And we don't get dust anymore
No,
with these
you get those little
turf
black
fields.
pebbles. Pass is knocked away at the last moment. I called them pebblets. They're not even pebblets. Little black pebbles. Pass was intended for Nick Richmond. Unable to come up with it.
You know, he made a great catch at the end of the first half, very similar
Yes.
to that play right there. And I still feel like that's going to be there tonight at some point, but they just haven't got it to come down when they've really needed it.
Second down and 10. George is back in. Michael George. You know, there was a long time ago, back in the early part of our time doing Wampus Cat football, when you had Peyton Hillis and Kevin Wardlow. They were known as Thunder and Lightning. And then there were years that followed where there were other combinations of Thunder and Lightning.
Chamorro and
yeah,
I forgot the other one.
But exactly, you're right. Mark Odom was a part of. You know, you remember those guys that were the pounders and there was the fast guys. Michael George is
He's both, yeah. He is.
Kerry McLean set up behind Andrew Rhea. Quick out. Incomplete. Second down and 10.
Passing game has just been rough tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, it has not clicked like it has the last few weeks. Second down and 10. On the ground, Kerry McLean. Where what has worked is that. Just running from the inside of the left, or excuse me, the inside of the right shoulder of Nate Turner. Go all the way over to the left, inside of his right shoulder, to inside the left shoulder of Thomas Cloyd. Those holes between that spot is just working. It's worked all night.
I think you and I might be able to run through that.
Not as far or as effectively,
Or as fast,
but
yeah.
Any of that. George back in on third down, 3rd and 3. It's Michael George again. George, Michael George, inside the 15. He's down at the 12. Move the chains, 1st and 10. Michael George inching closer to another 150-yard night. He might have it, actually, after that run.
You need 3 yards. Here's 25.
25 in a cloud of those little black pebbles.
He is. 16 carries, 172 yards tonight. And the the only two scores for Conway.
Ball's on the 12-yard line. 1st and 10. Andrew Rhea will hand off to Kerry McLean. Kerry, he kicks it outside. Spun down inside the 5-yard line.
Wendell and Sam Wynn made the tackle. 8-yard gain, second down.
Sam Wynn in on the stop for Southside. Ball's at the 4-yard line. McLean still in. He gets the handoff. Kerry McLean into the end zone. His first touchdown of the year. The Cats are back within a score.
Really nothing to say other than just keep running the ball. I mean, they've had so much success, like you said, up the middle against this Southside defense. And the passing game has had its challenges tonight. But so what? Just keep handing it off right down the middle, and you're going to get back into this game.
27-21. Minute 17 to play in the third quarter. The Cats are back within 6. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Looking to make your truck stand out from the rest? US Truck offers a variety of accessories to fit your needs. Tonneau covers, camper shells, toolboxes, bed liners, Nerf bars and running boards, trailer hitches, lift kits, and much, much more. We offer top quality products at a fair price with installation available. Oh, and ask about our military and senior discounts. US Truck Accessories, 1335 East Oak Street in Conway. Work hard, play hard.
It was 20-7 at halftime, with the Wampus Cats trailing by 13. It is now 27-21. The Cats have cut it to 6.
Yeah, coming out of the first half, Conway had 79 yards passing. They still have 79 yards passing, but they've scored them twice here in the third quarter. They're now 222 yards rushing on 31 carries between Michael George, Kerry McLean, Giovanni Johnson, and Andrew Rhea.
16 for 172. What a night for Michael George.
And you gotta believe 200's in his future if they're gonna find a way to. Stats says even more than that.
He's gone over 500 now for the season. Kickoff bobbled in the corner. How about that stop? Who else? Cole Hoover making big play after big play on special teams.
And that's been the other big difference here in the second half is this defense and special teams have been making some really big, exciting plays to kind of shift the momentum. The last two possessions and penalties have also helped Conway as Southside continues to be their own worst enemy here in the second half.
This defense has been making a few more stops, but, well, they need another one here. That last touchdown, Jackson got behind the safety. Gonna have to step up, and it was on 3rd down and long when that happened. Let's see what they can do here. 1st and 10. Deep in their own territory is Southside. Tay Gatewood stands in his own end zone. Now he'll step up, change the play. Saw something in the defense he didn't like. On the ground and a big hit and pushed back. What a hit.
You had 10 Wampus Cats. I counted them, 10.
And that's what I'm afraid to call one name.
Just start calling names.
Unbelievable. Cage Carter's out there. Jordan Doby's out there. Zach Friedel's out there. Those are the 3 defensive linemen. Jones, Fusilier, Lloyd, Freeman, the linebackers. What a play. 2nd down at the 2-yard line. Gatewood will change the play again. Plenty of time on the play clock. Stopped at the 2-yard line.
Zach
Friedel.
He was waiting for him. It's like whatever adjustments they made at halftime, you're seeing it, especially with Friedel. It's like he's waiting. It's like he knows exactly what's about to happen.
That is going to be the end of the third quarter. They will walk to the entire other end of the field, and we'll have the fourth quarter coming up for you next. 60-second break in the fourth quarter coming up on Conway Corp Channel 5. Wampus Cats are trailing 27-21, but all the momentum is wearing head-to-toe blue right now, Levi.
Yeah, and a really big opportunity here for this Conway defense on 3rd and long in the shadow of their own uprights to force some magic here, maybe even get a safety. Who knows? Just don't give up the big play right here if you're the Conway defense.
Coach Ashcraft in the middle of the defensive huddle talking to his guys. That was a much better third quarter when we are used to seeing the Cats trailed 20-7 at halftime, trailing 27-21 now.
Well, this is a team that can put up points in bunches. They've had some really big quarters in the non-conference schedule. We mentioned 28 points in one quarter against Jonesboro.
Well, we've got a slight delay here. I want to remind you that if as you're watching this replay, we do all of the road games live. So that means next Friday night, we will be in North Little Rock for the game against the Charging Wildcats, and we'll broadcast that game back live to Conway. Then in 2 weeks, we're going to be in Fort Smith to take on Northside. Well, that night, we're doing a Wampus Cat to Go watch party. And we're going to provide dinner for you and a bunch of your friends. We'll broadcast the game, obviously. You'll be able to watch the Cats live there in your living room and eat food that we provide for you and a bunch of friends. Go to our website, conwaycorp.com/WC2Go. Click on the Watch Party tab and get entered for that. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. You've got through the end of the month to get registered. All right, 3rd down and 11. Gatewood sends Ulrich in motion. Gatewood will throw. Pressure in the end zone.
He dropped
Fumble. Was it recovered? Who got it? All right, let's let him shake it out. It's a safety. He recovered the fumble, but the sack in the end zone is going to give the Wampus Cats 2 points in the football coming up.
Southside getting a little bit of a break there as he puts the ball on the turf. Conway gets it at 6 points. Southside gets it back. It's still 2.
How about this Wampus Cat defense in the second half?
The tide has shifted.
Fantastic. Our score 27-23. 6 seconds in to the fourth quarter.
Check out this drive for Southside here, Jeff. 3 plays, -4 yards.
Wow.
Results in a safety.
2 points for the good guys. 27-23 is our score. It is the conference opener for both teams. Conference openers going on around the state tonight. And if you quit paying attention to this score, you would think it was all Southside, but it has not been all Southside. These Wampus Cats have shown a lot of heart, and they have come back and performed so well. Trying to get the right personnel on the field. Darnell Washington and Will Kennedy will go deep to receive this free kick. It's going to be a teed-up free kick from the 20-yard line instead of a punt. A lot of times they'll do that. So the right guys are on the field, and the Cats should get good field position here. Will Kennedy takes it at the 35. Flag. Will just making football plays like he's in the backyard. Down to the 45-yard line, tackled by Cameron Belcher, and we'll shake out the flag here and see what it is.
That kind of felt like an interception return.
It did,
by
yes.
little Kennedy there, juking and jiving.
Going to be a hold called against the Wampus Cats, so that's going to bring the return back a little bit.
Going to make a prediction here, Jeff.
Let's hear it. Say it before it happens.
I'm going to predict that Michael George goes over 200 yards.
Where is he
drive.
now?
172.
Okay. So the Michael George 200-yard watch is at 28. All right, we'll see. He's on the field. Ball is at the 35-yard line. Cats have it 1st and 10, 11:45 to play in the game. Trail by 4. Michael George. What? He should get twice as much for that, right?
Oh, man. He should charge for that ride. That's the Michael George Uber experience right there.
He just dragged Cameron Belcher, their senior middle linebacker, all 170 pounds of him, 8 yards to the 43. 2nd down and 3. Feed him. Feed him. George to the 46-yard line. Move the chains for the Wampus Cats. He needed 28. How many does he have now?
He's getting closer. He's getting closer. I'm still having dreams about like the magic carpet ride that he gave that guy a few plays ago. I mean, he literally dragged him 8 yards.
27-23. Under 11 minutes to play. George. It just about took him on another ride. Same kid. 27-23. Belcher makes the stop. He was also the recipient of what you call it, the Michael George Uber experience.
Yeah. That was
I like it.
Yeah.
That should be something that Toad suck.
Right?
They'll pay for that. 2nd down and 8. George. Close to a 1st down. Another injured player on the field. It is a banged-up Maverick. Slow to get up. That's Cameron Belcher, the recipient of the Michael George Uber experience earlier. So just short of a 1st down. 3rd and about a yard, less than a yard. That normally means the Rhino. Let's see if that's what they decide to call. It sure is. They're going to send Andrew Rhea out to the right. They'll also change up the offensive line look just a little bit. Flag comes in. What was 3rd and a yard. It's going to back up the Wampus Cats a little bit. So that's going to change the play call. See what Brian Rainey sends in for the Wampus Cats.
Penalties have been momentum killers on both sides. Southside and Conway tonight.
Near side is open field, but everybody is stacked to the right. Chris Anderson and Chris Patterson, those H-backs, both in the game. And next to Thomas Cloyd, that's where Michael George runs and continues to add to his totals and move the chains. It is a 1st down for the Wampus Cats, a Conway Regional Health System 1st down.
22 carries, 197, 2 touchdowns.
It's 3 yards to go over 200 tonight. Michael George. How many carries tonight?
22.
He's not 72 carries on the season. Rhea to throw. Andrew Rhea looking for Nick Richmond. Richmond goes up, makes the catch, touchdown. 36 yards. That's the Nick Richmond that we were getting used to. goes up with those strong hands, pulls it down, and the Wampus Cats retake the lead.
Some redemption right there for Richmond. So he had a touchdown pass earlier in the first half that got called back on a penalty. A lot of contact there on that play from both sides, but he just beats the defender with his vertical ability. Comes down in the end zone. And give credit to this rushing attack as it finally opened up a big pass play for Conway.
Nick McEwen did a great job to take the snap that was just a little bit low and put it down, and the Wampus Cats have taken the lead 30-27 with 9:10 to play in the ball game. Let's take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Jane, did you know that Legacy Fencing was voted as the best of the best in Faulkner County? Of course I did. Everybody knows that. Did you know Legacy Fencing is still the best of the best in Faulkner County?
Of course I do. Everybody knows that. Some things just don't change.
While most things change, Legacy Fencing continues to be the fencing company that the people of Conway trust.
Legacy Fencing, it's fencing for a lifetime.
(30-27), Nick Richmond going up, making the big play, and the Cats are on top by 3.
So my prediction was wrong, Jeff. I predicted that Michael George would go over 200 yards on that possession, but I didn't. I was
You're
proven
fine
wrong.
with
But that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly content with the outcome as this passing attack that has struggled so much tonight, finally a positive outcome.
Yes. And that was Richmond. I mean, well, Rhea threw a great ball, and we've just seen Nick do that so many times, and there's been a few passes that he's dropped that normally he would catch in his sleep. And so to see him go up and get one like that, and the catch he made at the end of the first half, and the catch in the run that he made for the touchdown that was called back, he's back to having the nights like we're used to seeing him have. Wow, special teams has been flying all over the place. Fuller there, Hoover there, Fusilier there.
And Richmond and Rhea have really established this connection here in the first 4 games of the season. Five of Rhea's 6 touchdown passes, or 7 now, have been to Nick Richmond.
Joe Thomas, Will McKenna, Will Kennedy, all those guys are capable. So as like Coach was saying in the coach's show, as Richmond continues to get pressure, you've got some pretty good second and third options beyond Richmond. But boy, he went up and made that play. So Gatewood, hands off, and a huge hit by the Wampus Cats.
I don't know what adjustments they made at halftime, but they have been reading that option so much better here in the second half and getting contact in the backfield.
Loss of 2 on the play. It's 2nd down and 12. Doby, Fusilier, and Zach Friedel. Those are the 3 down linemen for the Cats. 2nd down and 12. Gatewood awaits the snap. He will hand off to Savoy. He'll be forced to the sideline. Matt Lloyd forces him that way, and Tyler Banks finishes him off. It is 3rd down and 10.
Great job of this Conway defense there, playing well laterally. Just nowhere to go for Southside.
Third down, 10 yards to go. Under 8 minutes to play, and the Cats have come from behind to take the lead. Gatewood throws, looking deep. Second time tonight, Gatewood finds Jordan Jackson behind the defense. He goes the distance. 79 yards on that play. Southside retakes the lead.
Extra point here, big extra point here for Southside, as it'll put them up by more than a field goal.
It's a 3-point game right now, 33-30. So their kicker, Connor Robles, is in to try to make it a 4-point game. Just barely gets it by the outstretched arms of Darius Washington. It's good, and the Cats trail again. 34-30 with 7.5 to play. 30 seconds, and we're back on Conway Corp Channel 5. Hi, I'm Jeff Matthews. Join us live this Friday night for Wampus Cats to Go. Watch the game live on Channel 5 and 585 or online at conwaycorp.com/WC to go. It's Conway at North Little Rock this Friday night, live on Wampus Cats to Go. 7:39 to play in the game. 2 huge pass plays here in the second half. That's been the scoring so far in the second half for Southside. Tay Gatewood to Jordan Jackson.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I mean, this Conway defense, besides those 2 plays, they have played so well here in the second half. Those 2 plays just happen to be long touchdown.
Plays,
yeah, long touchdown passes.
That touchdown just coming barely a minute and a half after the Wampus Cats had taken the lead, 30-27. Big third down play, and they converted. Now the Mavericks lead 34-30. Pooch kick that Matt Lloyd will take at the 29-yard line. Lloyd looking for a block. Stiff arm. Out of bounds, a great return. Cats will have really good field position following Matt Lloyd's kickoff return.
That pooch kick has not really worked tonight for Southside. Not as intended.
Trying to keep it out of the hands of our deep guys, obviously, but I would think that odds would be that you could probably keep somebody to beyond the 45 or 40 if you kicked it deep and gave your guys a chance, but they continue to go to it. All right, continuing to go to it. Let's see if the Wampus Cats continue to go to Michael George. He's in the game, set up behind Andrew Rhea, 197 yards on the night. Chance to add to it here, and will. And will. 9 more yards. Michael George goes over 200 for the night. It's second down for the Cats.
Another thing that he's talented at, and you saw it right there, is that when he gets contact, that little spin to kind of whip people off of him.
He's so strong. George again. It'll be enough to move the chains. It's a Conway Regional Health System first down. 1st and 10 Wampus Cats, 7:05 to play in the game.
He's got to be tired, though. It's been a long game for him. 209 yards on 24 touches.
Chris Patterson in the game. Chris Anderson in the game. Anderson set up at the tail, tight end to the near side. Patterson, the H-back to the right. And that's where Kerry McLean runs. Kerry McLean, he will move the pile. Great run by Kerry McLean to the 33-yard line. Move the chains for the Wampus Cats. It's another Conway Regional Health System first down.
It's funny how, pretty even the total offensive output between these 2 teams has been. Conway now 24 first downs compared to 17 for the Mavericks, but the shift has been the rushing yards for Conway has been so high.
Andrew Rhea keeps a design run for the quarterback, and he gets to the 29-yard line. Tripped up there. It'll be second down. Kerry McLean back out, and that sends Michael George back in. Nick Tufu in the game also. Nick's got quite a stat line for the year. 1 catch, 5 yards, and a touchdown. He got to know what it felt like to get in the end zone for these Wampus Cats. And he'll go in motion. Come to the near side as the H-back. Chris Anderson, the tight end. Michael George set up behind Andrew Rhea. Under 6 to play. Cats trailing by 4. Michael George spinning, fighting inside the 25-yard line. It will be third down. Sam Wynn and Dede Smith on the stop for Southside. Penalty against the Wampus Cats. Back at the 35-yard line. So second down and 13. Coach Ashcraft asking for some explanation. 5.5 to play. Second down and 13. The Cats trail by 4. They've got to have a touchdown. They'll stay on the ground. And they should! Michael George from 35 yards out. The Wampus Cats retake the lead.
We've been bragging on Michael George all night, and well-deserved. But man, oh man, this offensive line.
They are playing great, Levi. You're exactly right.
Across the board, they've run left, they've run right, they've run right behind the center. Everything tonight, and not just for Michael George. It's been open, whoever, just these huge, and what a night for them.
Jordan Wicks will kick. That one got close to being blocked, but just like all the rest of them, it is good. And the Wampus Cats have retaken the lead. They're up by 3, 37-34, 5:16 to play in the game. 30 seconds and we are back.
Your life is about to change forever, and Conway Regional will be with you every step of the way. We're committed to being the best. That's why our OBGYNs won't deliver anywhere else. Your newborn will benefit from our groundbreaking nursery alliance with Arkansas Children's Hospital. And as you adapt to the new world that's in front of you, know that everyone at Conway Regional is all on the same team. Yours. One team, one promise, Conway Regional.
What a night. Wampus Cats found themselves trailing early on, kind of fighting back the entire game, and that's continued to be the case. Who's going to land the last punch tonight? With 5:16 to play, what could be the last punch was Michael George. Something tells me that's not the last score of the night, though,
I know.
the way things have gone.
You almost feel like they scored too quickly.
Maybe.
5:16 left to go here. This Conway defense, though, other than these two big plays in the second half, they've been playing solid. So I'm not super concerned about them if they can just keep the big play from happening. But over 300 yards rushing tonight for this Conway offense.
Well, and that's the line. You talked about it. I mean, it's obviously the running backs too, but that line has done a spectacular job tonight. Jordan Wick's kick is going to bounce out of bounds. That hasn't happened very often, but it does this time, and the Mavericks will have better field position than they would have had. Michael George will hopefully be on the field here in a few moments, but before he gets back on the field, it's worth mentioning the night he has had. 244 yards rushing tonight for Michael George, 3 touchdowns. Just a spectacular evening on the ground. 25 carries, 244 yards, 3 touchdowns.
And Kerry McLean has done really good in relief tonight. Just 6 touches, but 42 yards and a score for him as well.
So the ball's at the 35-yard line after it went out of bounds on the kick. Ulrich outside and a big hit by Matt Lloyd. Lloyd knows to stay in his lane and does it at second down.
Kind of gave Matt Lloyd a new nickname last week. We called him Superman.
That's right.
I heard that get brought up this week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I'm glad that the nicknames stick. What, Mr. Everything for Will Kennedy?
Superman.
Did somebody else have one? An unintentional nickname?
I think we came up with the nickname off air, but we didn't get the chance to say it. We were waiting for them to do something, and now I can't remember what it was.
I can't either. Flags come in from the reaction from the folks underneath our crowd mic, which is right above the home stands. You know exactly what happened, even if you can't see what just happened. Penalty against the Mavericks. These Mavericks 1-2 on the year. They've only won 2 of their last 9 games. They beat us a year ago over at their place, 23-20. Since then, they've only had 2 more victories. Missed the playoffs for the first time since 2007 last year. They've come over here playing some pretty good football tonight. Gatewood to throw, looking deep again. There comes the flag. Tyler Banks.
I just find that kind of comical. Just some pretty incidental contact between Banks and the receiver when you reflect on the play in the first half.
Correct.
Against Will McKenna that, no flag at all there.
So after the penalty, they will step it off to the 45-yard line, 46-yard line, and that's where Southside will take over 1st and 10. They've gone deep twice for touchdowns during the second half. Guarding against that time meant a penalty. Ulrich running the ball, and another flag.
I get surprised when you don't say another flag.
Yeah, that's how things have gone at times tonight for sure. Block in the back on number 56 for the Mavericks, and it is going to be backing them up a little bit.
That's a big gift for this Conway defense.
Sure is. Back to the 34-yard line. It's 1st down there. Gatewood rolls out. Almost dropped. Now wants to throw deep. Touchdown. That time he found Tyrese Solomon. 3 long touchdown passes in the second half. And with 3:46 to go, unfortunately, our prediction was right. We had not seen the end of the scoring. It's a 3-point game, 40-37. Let's hope we still haven't seen the end of the scoring.
I guess the positive there, if you're Conway, is that still plenty of time left on the clock.
The extra point is missed. It's hooked left, hits off the upright, and is missed. So it is a 3-point game, 40-37, with 3:46 to play.
Will Kennedy off the edge to our right, and he didn't touch the ball, but that pressure certainly in the head there of the Mavericks kicker, and just bangs it off the upright.
What a night that we have seen. 40-37 long touchdown runs. We've seen an almost, you would think the likelihood is you're going to see a 250-yard individual rushing attack tonight from Michael George. The Wampus Cats as a team going well over 300 yards rushing tonight. We've seen 3 long touchdown passes, 12 out of 14 for Tay Gatewood, 264 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's and that adds to his what had already been a pretty good year for him. He'd been over 660 yards.
Yeah, he's also had 2 touchdowns rushing, 82 yards.
Yeah, he's a talented back. That's quarterback, but he would probably be a pretty good running back if that's all he concentrated on. Well, you can look at their game scores and realize if you see a Southside game, you're going to see a lot of offense, and that has certainly been the case tonight. Will Kennedy will return. Kennedy to the 20. Slowed down, but not stopped. Will Kennedy pushed out of bounds. 1st and 10 Wampus Cats. Mr. Everything gives the Cats great field position.
What a return from Will Kennedy, and what a great job.
And bring it all back, Levi. Bring it all back. They called a block in the back at the 39-yard line. Back to the 29-yard line. That's where the Cats will have it 1st and 10. with 3:35 to play.
Well, we're just going to have to see what this Conway team's made of here.
That's a great point.
I mean, just seemingly every turn tonight, something has gone bonkers wrong. And again here, another penalty. So many penalties tonight on both sides. This Conway offense, another chance here with 3:35 to go ahead.
Cats trailing by 3. They've got all 3 timeouts left. Michael George, who is right behind Andrew Rhea, gets another carry and has got a lot more. Michael George into the secondary. George to the 20. Pushed out of bounds. Michael George with another huge run tonight. And the Cats are in business in Southside territory. 3:25 to play. Michael George will come off the field. Get him a drink and a breath over there. What a night for the senior Michael George.
I have to get some oxygen down there.
He came into tonight, 50 carries, 350 yards. He is inching up on a 300-yard night tonight.
Yeah, 26 carries, 299, 3 scores.
Unbelievable. Kerry McLean will get the carry and go to the right. McLean to the 10. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to play in what has been a thrilling night of football. Sam Wynn makes the stop.
Starting to slow down a little bit here, and that's kind of the question at this point is, because of the big playability from Michael George, do you try and slow it down at this point? You don't want to give Southside too much time left if you are able to get a score here.
2nd down and 3. Chris's Patterson and Anderson both in the game. It'll be Michael George. It'll be Michael George. From 9 yards out, he goes over 300 yards for the night and another touchdown, his 4th on the evening.
Yeah, make it 308 yards tonight for Michael George. 4 scores as he has just been flat out unstoppable. And again, so much credit to this offensive line as they've struggled in the passing game tonight, but this offensive line has just kept opening things up all night long.
And Michael George ran right over to his guys in his secondary, to Tez Miller and to Tyler Banks, and he told them, we've got this, guys, we've got this. Get out there and do your part now. Jordan Wicks does his part, another extra point, and with 2:32 to play in the game, Conway up 44-40. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Home security is now available through Conway Corp. It's an advanced solution backed by people you know and trust. Customize your system with motion detectors, sensors, light controls, and more, all managed from your wireless touchscreen or mobile phone. It's an easy way to protect the things that matter and the ones who matter most. It's safety for you, powered by Conway Corp.
.232 to play, and an unbelievable night for Michael George tonight. 27 carries, 308 yards, 4 touchdowns, and the Cats are on top 44-40.
Yeah, 494 total yards for this Conway offense.
Wow.
You know, well more than the majority of it coming from the ground game. But look at this yards per carry for Michael George, 11.4 yards a carry.
Jordan Wicks will kick off down to the 10-yard line. Savoy, wrapped up by Cole Hoover, slows him down. B.J. Jones won't miss him. There is a flag on the field. That's safe to assume. And there is.
The way it came out, though, it looks like it's going to be against Southside.
And it will be against the Mavericks. So back them up a few yards. First down Southside, 2:23 to play. Now, Levi, that's what Michael George went over and talked to those guys in the secondary about. 3 times in the second half, they've been burned for long touchdown passes. What's going to happen here? They have got to be prepared for that long pass. Don't let anybody get behind them. Those receivers have got some speed, Jackson and Solomon both.
Yeah, and you wonder how Ashcraft and his coaching staff are going to approach this. Do you throw an extra defensive back in there, maybe put a little less pressure on the Southside offense? But
Gatewood stands in his own end zone. Fights his way out. A little bit of breathing room, not much. Garrett Fusilier on the stop. Matt Lloyd, Terrell Grimes there as well. Coming up on the 2-minute mark. Southside trails by 4. They have got to get into the end zone. Gatewood throws. Incomplete, intended for Brendan Ulrich. It is 3rd down and 5, 1:53 to play. All hands on the Wampus Cats sideline. Go up, they make the symbol. 3rd down. 3rd down and 5 in the 4th quarter. The Wampus Cats, an unbelievable performance, full of heart tonight, coming back to this point. The defense having a chance right here to make a statement. Gatewood calls out the play. 3rd down and 5. Tay Gatewood throws. Pass is complete. Out to the 31-yard line. Making the catch, Tyrese Solomon.
because of that missed extra point on the last Southside score, it's all or nothing for Southside here.
And by going for 2 and not getting it on the first score of the night, what seemed like 4 hours ago. Gatewood's pass is complete to Solomon. Nowhere to go. Makes it to the 35 at least. Jackson Freeman making the stop on the receiving end of a couple of pushes from a Southside offensive lineman. They want to take a timeout. We'll take it with them. 30 seconds and we're back for the end of a thrilling game tonight on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Prevent break-ins with Conway Corp Home Security. Arm windows and doors with sensors plus motion detectors throughout the house. All monitored 24/7. See inside and out with live video feed and control it all with your all-in-one touchscreen panel or from your mobile device. We make it easy to protect what matters. Security for you, powered by us.
Minute 31 to play. 91 seconds left, Levi. 2nd down and 7. The Cats have fought all the way back, trailing by 2 scores for so much of the game. Leading by 4 now, and the defense called upon to make some huge plays.
Yeah, if you're this secondary, it's just don't give up the big play. That's all you're saying.
And there is an extra safety in the game. Matt Lloyd pushes Solomon out as Cole Hoover is in. I'm trying to do the math here. Yep, Hoover, along with Kennedy and Roman Aaron are in. At the corners are Tyler Banks and Darnell Washington. So this is the nickel package with the extra defender in the secondary, taking away one of the linebackers. 4 wideouts. Check that, 5 wideouts for Tay Gatewood. 1:26 to go. They've got to get into the end zone. Gatewood will step up, and he's got room across midfield to the 40-yard line. Chains will move for Southside. It's 1st and 10 for the Mavericks. B.J. Jones off the field. Garrett Fusilier hustles on. 1:16 to play. 2 timeouts for the visiting Mavericks. They trail by 4. Gatewood, stand up and throws. Catch is made by Solomon. Tariq Solomon down at the 20-yard line.
If you're a Conway Wampus Cap fan, this is one of those games where you just can't breathe.
Well, you just want the clock to run out now. 1:01 to go. Gatewood's pass complete. Brought down inside the 10-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal, Mavericks. First and goal from the 8, 51 seconds to go. Again, they have got to score a touchdown. The field goal will not win the game. Gatewood will run and will find the end zone. Tay Gatewood adds to his huge night, and the visiting Southside Mavericks take a 46-44 lead.
It's been a wild fourth quarter. Neither team able to put up much defense at all.
Cats are going to have 40 seconds or so, and they'll have all 3 timeouts. And they've got a back that's gone over 300 yards tonight.
Gatewood, 442 yards passing tonight.
Extra point is good by Robles, and it is a 3-point game. 47
running
to
and
44. Total offense, 442.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to keep it here. There's 41 seconds to play in the game as the Mavericks band plays the Wabash Cannonball across from us. Cats trailing by 3. We've seen special teams tonight on the special teams defensive side. Some great stops made by the Wampus Cats on kickoffs. We've seen some great returns by the Wampus Cat return team. It'd be nice to see one of those here.
Yeah, and the real challenge for Conway on this last possession is what's been working for you tonight is running the ball, but not something that you can really rely on when you've got 40 seconds left.
And if you're going to do that, you have to be prepared to use your timeouts, or make sure you get 10 yards because the clock will stop with the first down, but just for a moment.
Which they do have 3 timeouts, so that doesn't completely take away that option.
And we need a field goal to tie. So they did not have that luxury. They didn't need that luxury as they got into the end zone. But we'll see what happens here with the Cats. Final 41 seconds of what's been a thrilling night of football. Let's hope the Cats have one more comeback in them. Robles will kick off from the 40-yard line. Will Kennedy takes it at the 7, to the 20. Will Kennedy out to the 32-yard line. Call it the 33. That's where the Cats will have it with 35 seconds to go. Wicks has got a long distance that I think he can kick the ball. He can probably kick easily 45 to 50. To do that, you've got to get down between the 30 and the 35, or excuse me, between the 25 and the 30 to really get into that range. So they've got some room to go here. See what they try to do, and they're going to stay on the ground to what has been working. Michael George, they'll have to use a timeout as they get to the 37-yard line. Cats will burn a timeout here. They'll have 2 left. That play took 5 seconds. So if you can get the ball down to the 25-yard line, ball is snapped 7 yards behind that. That's the 32. And so that's a 42-yard kick. So you're kind of looking at that line to get to be in comfortable field goal range is really between the 25 and the 30-yard line. That's what the Cats are going to be trying to do. That's a ways to go here with 30 seconds left. And really because of that possibility, you probably don't want to use that last timeout if you can keep from it. Because if they obviously can get a big play and get in field goal range, you'll call the timeout quickly to get your team on the field and then set up the field goal attempt. Got to cover a lot of ground, though, before we get to that stage. Well, these Cats have been thrilling all year long. The game against Springdale came down to the end. The 2 wins, weeks 2 and 3. This one has been thrilling. Hope you'll be with us on Friday night when the Cats are at North Little Rock.
Yeah, whatever the outcome tonight, this has been quite a treat for football fans for your 7A Central opener.
Andrew Rhea with Michael George behind him. 30 seconds to play. and a timeout called by Southside. Southside wants to talk about it, and we will take a break here. 30 seconds left. Cats trail by 3. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Fitness is about so much more than exercise. It's a catalyst for positive change, and it affects every aspect of your life. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center is your source for comprehensive medical-based health and fitness programs. Dedicated to improving the wellness of those within our community, we offer something for everyone in the family. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center, over 20 years of health and wellness in our community.
Cats trail 47-44.
Getting some action on our social media tonight.
Oh,
Which,
yeah?
You know, we usually don't get as many comments
during home games.
Yeah. But Dwayne Shaw asking, do high schools play defense anymore?
Well, they do most nights, but boy,
kind
tonight.
of a fair question, yeah.
We're not in the 70s like there was that game last week that we heard about. All right, here we go. 30 seconds to go. Cats trail by 3. We're going to stay on the ground again to Michael George. Flag comes in. The clock's going to stop with 24 seconds to go. Brian Rainey, offensive coordinator for the Cats. From his reaction, that was what the call was going to be, and it is. Holding against the Wampus Cats, so we lose the 6 seconds. We'll lose the yardage.
And they got to hurry up and get out there, too.
Back to the 33-yard line. Clock will start. The signal for play, and there it goes. Rhea will throw the ball. Andrew Rhea looking deep. Got him to the 35-yard line. And he's coming up hobbling. That's Joe Thomas. Joe started the game with a big catch, and now a big catch there. Cats still have 2 timeouts to go. Thomas is hurt, getting off the sideline as fast as he can. We talked about the 25 to the 30 is really where they need to get to. They need about 5 or 6 more yards to be, I think, in comfortable field goal range for Jordan Wicks. 1st and 10 with 14 seconds to play. 2 timeouts remaining. Rhea will throw. Looking for Nick Richmond. Incomplete, 9 seconds to play. The ball is at the 33-yard line. It would be a 50-yard field goal attempt if the Cats don't gain any more yards.
You think they go back maybe to Michael George here just to get a little bit more?
You know, the only fear with that is that he runs so hard and tries for 2nd and 3rd and 4th efforts that the clock could run out before he actually gets tackled. 2nd down and 10. And Southside wants to talk about it. That's the only thing that makes me think there's that concern of, I don't know that he knows how to run without that kind of vigor. And so
right.
He could
Turn
easily,
it off.
Yeah, he could easily, chew up 9 seconds just trying to not be brought down and pick up another yard or 5 or 10 or drag some linebacker another 8 yards down the field, and the clock could run out. So I almost think it's got to be a quick out, something safe, throw it, try to pick up a few more yards. And I don't know that you can run another play that deep. That one took 5 seconds into the end zone. So maybe you could, but a few more yards would be nice. I know Jordan would probably welcome a few more yards closer. There is really no wind to speak of, so that's not going to be a factor at all. Cats trail by 3, 47-44. Boy, what a night of football. If you're watching and you were here tonight, the feelings you have right now are probably the same feelings you had tonight watching it live. 2nd down and 10. They will stay on the ground. Michael George to the 25-yard line. They'll call the timeout with 4 seconds to play. When we got the football, we talked about what was the yard to gain. What line did they need to get to to know that it's really within Jordan Wicks's range to tie this game. We said between the 25 and the 30 was kind of where we needed him to be. So you're looking at a 40, 42-yard field goal attempt. With 4 seconds to play, that's exactly where they are. And correction, that timeout was actually called by Southside. So the Wampus Cats still have 2 timeouts left if they need it for any reason, if the snap is bad or anything like that. So here's the setup. Reed Hughes will snap. Nick McEwen will hold. Jordan Wicks, he's signed to play baseball for Kansas State. First time playing football since junior high. And he has got a chance here to tie this game up with 4 seconds to go. 42-yard attempt. Good hold, good snap. The kick is good. We are going to overtime. A 42-yard field goal as time expires. And the Wampus Cats and the Mavericks play more football tonight. 60 seconds and overtime is next on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Since 1902, Auto Insurance has been protecting what's important to you, featuring Auto Owners Insurance. Auto Owners is ranked among the Fortune 500 14 years in a row.
We were victims of the tornadoes of both 2011 and 2014. Our auto insurance agents worked really hard to make sure we were fully compensated for our losses.
You ought to call us today. That's Auto Insurance in downtown Conway.
So we are tied at 47. Jordan Wicks with a huge 42-yard field goal. The game resting on his left foot, and he put it through. And so we go to overtime. Most people are probably pretty familiar with the collegiate overtime rule, where it's 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. You get 4 plays to try to get a first down, and then the other team gets the shot at it. It's 10 yards in high school ball. They'll start at the 10-yard line, but it's the same idea. One team will get the ball first, the other team gets a shot at it. We'll go back and forth till we get a winner.
Jeff, we could be here for a really long time.
What? So it'll be 1st and 10 here. We'll go the other direction and do this on the end of the field that's closest to our band and closest to our student section. So we'll go to our right. As we get to the overtime here, do you have a quick look at some of the final regular stats?
Yeah, let's pull those up real quick.
Michael George ended up with 308 yards rushing.
He finished the night with 320 yards.
That's right, because he had those runs at the end.
Yeah, on 29 carries, 4 touchdowns for him. Kerry McLean, 7 carries, 49 yards, and a score. And we're gonna see more Michael George here. All we need is 10 yards.
So the Wampus Cats are gonna have the football first. So we'll know what we're gonna have to do on defense based on what we're able to do here on offense.
What an incredibly clutch kick by Jordan Wicks. I mean,
huge.
You just can't overstate how big of a kick that was.
42 yards, time running out. Here we go, first overtime. You know, he kicked it right into the chairs where the men from the 1977 team were sitting. Handoff to George. Mason Gregory brings him down to be 2nd down. And, you know, that's the team that we've talked about so many times that won 11 games to begin their season, but 6 of those were by a field goal or less. So that must have brought back a lot of memories for those guys, knowing these tight games down to the end of the Wampus Cats season. Well, they saw it big time tonight and saw a big time kick from a kid who hasn't played Friday nights for a really long time, at least not on the football field. He's been on some big time baseball diamonds and will continue to be. Jordan Wicks clutch tonight. Andrew Rhea, we're in the first overtime. Michael George. They're going to whistle him just short of the goal line. You can imagine anybody wearing blue right now can play the role of offensive coordinator and knows what the call is about to be, as the Rhino should be coming up next, 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line.
This Southside defense has been loading up on the right side of Conway's line on this overtime possession here, but it just doesn't matter, you know? I mean, that's just how well this line and Michael George have played tonight.
So here it comes. And it will not be. It'll be a direct snap to Andrew Rhea. They run the Rhino with Rhea instead of Michael George. He gets into the end zone. Help me out there, Levi. That was Rhea, right?
It was Rhea, yeah.
Okay.
Rhea definitely the one who scored there. But everything about that play was a little shaky. I mean, the way they got up to the line, the snap was a little shaky, but gosh, this Conway offense has just found a way all night.
Whistle came in just as the ball was being snapped. See what the call is. From the looks of things, it's going to be against Southside. So it's half the distance to the goal. So now it's inside the 2, and Brian Rainey, the offensive coordinator, ran down and was talking to Coach Ashcraft. You think they would actually? No, they would never consider going for 2 there, right?
No. Not the way tonight's gone.
Right.
Although, I mean, maybe after 3 of these, we might consider it, because with the way that Southside has been scoring tonight, we might be here a while.
Extra point, up and good. So the Wampus Cats have scored 7. They lead 53-47. Next, it's the Mavericks' turn. 30 seconds, and we're back on Conway Corp Channel 5. We are in overtime, and the Wampus Cat defense, they're out on the field now. They know exactly what they have to do. Hold the Mavericks to fewer than 7 points for a win in the conference opener. We just saw a 46-point fourth quarter that has led us to overtime. Gatewood looks to throw. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Jeff, that's insane.
I was looking at my notes, and I thought,
Surely not.
I've missed so much tonight, y'all. I apologize. But I thought, wait, I think I've got that right. That's a 46-point scored in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Conway scored 26 in the fourth, and Southside scored 20.
2nd down and 10. Gatewood looking to run down to the 5-yard line. Terrell Grimes had him up high. Zach Friedel had him low. 3rd down and goal from the 6. Once again, the Mavericks have got to score a touchdown and either an extra point to tie or a 2-point to get the win. But they cannot just kick a field goal here. They have got to get in the end zone in these next 2 plays. Gatewood, the junior quarterback, surveys the Wampus Cat defense, and he's ready. 3rd down. Looks left, looks and throws. Helmet knocked off of Solomon. It's going to be 4th and goal from the 1-yard line.
Solomon's going to have to go off the field. The official's telling him now.
And he's their best receiver. And he's off the field. 4th down and goal. First overtime. And a timeout going to be taken. What an unbelievable night of football. I sure hope you're watching this tonight and you were here to see it live. We told you last week you should come watch these Wampus Cats play. We're not kidding. 30 seconds and we're back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Steve's Auto Center is Central Arkansas's most reliable auto repair and recovery company. Our state-of-the-art facility in Conway is your one-stop shop for everything automotive. With over 80 years combined experience, our certified technicians are known for expert workmanship and attention to every detail. We also provide the area's very best towing and recovery services. We take great pride in our work, and your satisfaction is 100% guaranteed.
Come to Steve's Auto Center for all your automotive needs.
We are in the first overtime. The Wampus Cats scored on their first possession. Andrew Rhea getting into the end zone. Jordan Wick's extra point was good. What a night Jordan has had. He made every extra point he's attempted tonight. Kicked a 42-yard field goal as time expired to tie it and send us to overtime. It's 54-47. It's 4th down and goal from the 1-yard line. Southside called a timeout to set up the play that they want. The Wampus Cat defense 1 yard away from opening the conference season with a thrilling come-from-behind victory. 4th and goal from the 1. The snap, the stop. The Wampus Cats win in overtime, 54-47. A win that will not be forgotten anytime soon. The Cats come back in thrilling fashion and win in overtime, 54-47. We'll take 60 seconds and come back and wrap this one up. What a game on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Fitness is about so much more than exercise. It's a catalyst for positive change, and it affects every aspect of your life. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center is your source for comprehensive medical-based health and fitness programs. Dedicated to improving the wellness of those within our community, we offer something for everyone in the family. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center, over 20 years of health and wellness in our community.
Hi, my name is Ashley Mann, and I would like for you to join me on my show, Breathe Yoga, on Channel 5. Each episode will consist of a 30-minute yoga practice that will help you along your yoga journey, whether you are new to yoga or an advanced practitioner. So if you've always wanted to try yoga but didn't know where to begin, join me on Breathe Yoga, only on Channel 5.
Hi, everybody. I'm waving at my boss who's down in the stands. I'm exhausted.
It was the most insane game I've ever witnessed, ever.
Yeah, that was something there. All right, final score.
I love how mellow you get after a game like that, after a call like that you finished with.
I've got nothing left.
You left it all on the field,
I did.
Jeff.
I left it all on the field.
Just like these Wampus Cats.
54-47, the final score.